Oh, okay. Yeah.
In his apartment.
I ain't played that one.
So if you play Downpour, Downpour got all the creepy elements to make it a really good game.
Right.
But the enemies, like say if you walking down the street, you look to the side and you just see an enemy just standing there like twitching and shit.
Yeah.
And like if you look away and you look back, they'll be closer. If you run toward them, they'll like vanish and pop up behind you, stuff like that. But It was just like when I was watching. Yeah, when I was playing that one, I never felt like I was playing a Silent Hill game. I felt like I was playing a game somebody was mimicking what they loved about Silent Hill.
Exactly.
And then when I watched the Medium, it made me feel like that old game Clock Tower.
Look,
so Clock Tower it's a character with a big pair of scissors, and he's chasing this girl through this building. Like she got to basically do all these puzzles, and then she got to escape the clock tower before the dude come up to her and he'll like behead her with the scissors or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But on the Medium, you got that creepy demon thing following you, and then you got all these lost souls and stuff that you trying to help them figure out everything. It's like a mix between Clock Tower and a mix between what's that movie with the little kid? I See Dead People.
The Sixth Sense?
The Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's not that it's a bad game. It just, when it comes to horror games, I feel like it was more of a suspense game, not a horror
that's basically what it is. It's more suspense than anything.
It's not very at all. Like, I mean, I would even say Evil Within was better than the Medium.
Oh, Evil Within shit on a lot of games, man.
Yeah. No, for real. And but it's hard, but it's action more so, you know what I mean? But it's still tough. Like it still has horror elements. But Medium is just boo-boo cheeks. I'm just gonna say that because
Evil Within, they gave Evil Within it was kind of like a silent award for having the most blood in a video game, man.
Oh, for real? I think I did see that. It
had more blood than any other video game. And that's saying a lot with Resident Evil.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
real. I can't wait till RE8, man. RE8 is about to be ridiculous. They're having a showcase on the 15th, I think.
That's gonna be.
And I just want to let y'all know I went live like 5 minutes ago, so they been watching us.
Oh shit, I ain't know, man.
Thanks a lot, yo.
Hey, we waiting on you. You hiding the topics, man.
Jack Nabbit.
You're supposed to count down.
So what's going on? Hold on, I want to have like a 30 seconds of silence for DMX. Rest in peace.
Sir.
Big facts.
Word.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here.
Y'all really think this cat can handle the dog?
Thought he was about to break out in the verse.
I don't know if y'all can see that, but I got a little clip going on Death of Vendetta.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
That used to be that.
Stop acting like a bitch,
right?
dog. Y'all really think this cat can handle the dog?
Man, I'm glad.
Imagine they bring that back now.
That shit would be dope.
It would be dope.
They ain't gonna bring it back because of the licenses, man. That's a hard one. There's a lot of people left Def Jam, man.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That Icon shit was trash, though. That Icon shit was trash.
But it won't hurt for them to like at least remaster the game, though. I feel like they could have at least done that, though.
No, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, because some of the artists bought all their masters and stuff since then.
Right.
And Def Jam won't be able to do it. Not with all the artists.
Yeah. Shit, Jay-Z just bought all of DMX's masters today or yesterday and gave them to all 17 of his kids.
That's what's up.
17.
He gave them to him for free so they can have his legacy, control of his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
But they gotta be careful.
That's almost a take half an egg, yo.
Man, them dude, he got mad tracks that was never released too.
Yep.
We're gonna see a bunch of DMX the lost tapes.
Like, could you imagine just listening to all the lost songs from DMX, like the songs that had never then came out? You know how much hype that this man would have had even more during his prime when if you would have heard them songs that never been released?
Yo, some of his hottest shit was poetry, was deaf poetry, yo. He did a lot of deaf poetry stuff.
Right. It was just sad to see him go, man.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit.
But one thing I always wondered though, why he wasn't in Def Jam Fight for New York. He one of the biggest guys that rep his city, New York City.
It probably was when he was having a conflict with Def Jam. He was trying to get out of his deal. He left Def Jam for a few years and then he came back like 7-8 years later.
Okay.
I think
he came back when Jay-Z had took over. I think he came back right around that time, either prior or after Jay-Z had took over as one of the bosses at Def Jam.
So I remember him and Jay-Z had problems with each other at one time because of that.
It was earlier around the tour time.
Okay.
When they was first touring, when the album, because him, Jay-Z, and Ja Rule was supposed to be in like a Murder Inc. type group together in like 95, 96.
Yeah, they was.
And I think they did like a couple tracks and then all of that shit just dissolved and it never went anywhere. You know, Jay-Z already had his deals going. DMX was still working for a deal because I think Jay-Z was 26 or 27 when he got his official record deal. And I think DMX was around 29 or 30 years old when he got his record deal.
Yeah, he was 28.
Ja Rule was already with Murder Inc. and them. He just didn't have his projects and stuff releasing at that time.
Right.
So,
big up
but they had a lot of shit.
I think DMX did the exact same interview though. I think it's on the Breakfast Club. I think he talked about the whole dynamic of why the things didn't work out. When he was trying to get on the Def Jam, like the second time I think. It was like one of the times he tried to, but like I think he did an interview on it, and Jay-Z threw some sort of shade, like for some reason, like he knew that DMX was traveling through this weird dark path. I wouldn't say it was like completely like off, but like I mean everybody knew his history about like him doing drugs and like being in and out of jail and stuff like that. So I think Jay-Z didn't sign him to Def Jam because of all that stuff that he was going through.
Probably so, man. People look at it this way: if it's business, we got to get rid of all liabilities, man.
Yep.
Cassidy was going to jail. Freaking Beanie Siegel. Everybody, all the big artists that was big back then, all of them was going to jail left and right. Like shit. Even Method Man and Redman said they got bailed out by their record label like 3 or 4 times because they kept boxing dudes in clubs and stuff. They kept getting in trouble, and Method Man was like, "Yeah, I was so close to robbing dudes many times, but I didn't need to." He was like, "I was just tempted just because they disrespected me."
Right.
So, I mean, you think about it that way. If you a liability, you my friend or not, I ain't got time to deal with it. I ain't got time to pay your court costs. Because when you big, think about it. DMX slapped somebody. His case ain't gonna be no regular civil case. His case is gonna be worldwide. Everybody gonna know it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed up in the airport with the black suit on one time, saying he was an undercover agent.
That's when he got locked up because he had pulled somebody over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember.
Yo, he had another one.
Funny.
He had another one. Somebody had gave him the middle finger at a light, and he said he was in like a Lambo, and the dude gave him the middle finger. He said he drove up the street real fast, turned the car around, and parked and blocked the lane, and got out. He was like, "Yo, you stuck up your finger, so you said fuck me. So what's up?" He was like, the dude was scared and started apologizing. I'm like, yo, when he does it big. Like, you ain't gonna disrespect that man.
There's no middle ground. Yeah, it's like either really, really going crazy or really just low.
Exactly.
It's definitely, man. R.I.P. to DMX, man. We lost the real one.
Facts.
One of the realest in history.
Definitely.
Straight.
So let's get on to these gaming topics, man. So the first one I want to talk about, Jamil, I know you've been wanting to talk about this, Outriders. I know you've been wanting to talk about this.
I ain't got nothing to say on Outriders, man. Y'all feel how y'all feel. Y'all love the game, man. I'm just saying it's not for me. As far as the type of games I play, it's not one that really draws me in, man. Like I was telling my boy, me and my boy had a whole discussion, and he was like, when it comes to games as a service, when it comes to, you know, any kind of live service game, I was like, yo, it's all marketing talk. Any game that if I unplug the internet does not work anymore is a live game. And I was like, I don't really play a lot of them. I was like, if y'all got the patience for it, y'all got the patience for it. But if it's a single player game, I want to just play it. I don't want to have to be connected to the internet. You know what I'm saying? I just want to play it. And a lot of games turn me off. Like, it's just, I ran into a lot of games over the years and I just didn't feel like bothering with them because I would be wanting to play them. And it's like, yo, you can't play it anymore. I bought that game Mag. Y'all ever seen that game on the PS3?
Mm-hmm. No.
That game, Mag. So Mag was the first game to have the massive. It was actually called massive action game. The largest parties you can have on an online shooter.
Oh wow, I heard about that.
Soon as you get on that game, the graphics was nice, the gameplay was nice, but soon as they didn't get the support needed for that game, if you bought it,
just dropped it.
They dropped it. So it was like, damn. And the story mode required you to be connected to the internet to play the game. So I got a game that's just sitting over there in the corner right now, and I couldn't play the shit. And I got this other game, I forgot what it's called. It was like a blue case though, but you have like a medic on your team, an assault rifleman or whatever on your team. And I forgot what it's called. I had to look it up. But
was it Battleborn?
Huh? Now I know Battleborn.
Yeah.
I go over there and pull the case in a few minutes. But it was like on the game, me and my boy played in Afghanistan in like 2009 or something like that. I came back from my deployment, the servers were shut down. So I'm like, okay, that's another dead game. Right. So after a while, I just got to the point where I'm like, if it say single player, I don't care if it say it's a full game. If it say I got to do anything online, that shit's a dub. I ain't even messing with it. Anthem, all the story is online. Anthem's dead now. You know what I'm saying?
Don't even mention Anthem, yo. Cause
you know what's crazy?
Get hyped.
Antthem's not even a bad game.
It's
it just
not.
don't have no content.
It's
it just
not.
don't have no content.
Yeah.
So,
right.
So it's like, yo, if I gotta look forward to that happening, I ain't with it. I ain't bothering with it. I'm just gonna avoid it. Whoever likes it, you like it, you enjoy it. But can't nobody convince me to play it. Like I'll play it when I feel like I'm in the mood to play it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if, like I was about to buy Anthem last month, and then they said that it was shutting down the server. So I'm like, okay, so cause I didn't get it at launch, I saved because I would have wasted my money, $59 on this game that I wouldn't even be able to play a year or two later.
Whoa, you about to pay $59 for that?
No. I'm saying if I would have bought it at launch, it was $59.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
But when I saw it, when I first saw that first preview on E3, I was like, this game ain't gonna look like this. I was like, they hyping it up too much for it to actually look like this, and they showing the same sizzle reel of gameplay every single time. Like, show me something different. They started up on the cliff and jumped off and then went all through the environment. I was like, yo, this game ain't gonna look like this when it came out. And then when it came out, it was reduced like Cyberpunk.
Don't do Cyberpunk like that, yo. Because no game can do what Cyberpunk did,
man. You can have that, bro.
It wasn't trash, man. It was.
I don't know who actually plays that shit, but it's a fun game on PS5.
Hey, look,
yeah, it's dope as fuck. I still play it.
I saw you playing it.
I bump into it. Yeah, okay. Hell yeah. I'll be playing that shit like once or 2 or 3 times a week.
Right, and it's like the thing is the atmosphere of the game, bro. Like what it builds as far as open world games go. It's actually a pretty dope thing. It makes you feel like you're in a damn near city. Like it's pretty tough. Yeah. But
man, I want to say it was like 2 weeks or so ago that they released the end all be all patch.
That patch
there's still more. Yeah, there's more to go, but I didn't see any differences, bro. Like the PS5 version is just clean. Yeah. Like, I don't know what system you're playing it on, but maybe once everybody phases into having PS5s and Xbox 360s, if it comes out on that eventually, then they should pick it up in like 3 years or some shit.
And so check this out,
I
though.
wait for that shit to be pristine.
Check this
Don't
out.
really
This
say
year,
Xbox 360.
Black Friday. Get that shit.
Hey,
Series X, same thing.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
hey, y'all, Jamil actually sent me this earlier. Like,
He just as bad as me.
hey, Jamil actually sent me this earlier in the week, though, that Outriders actually sold a lot more on the PlayStation platforms. But, of course, we know Xbox had more players simply because it's on Game Pass. And so my question to y'all is, do y'all think Game Pass and the aggressive moves is going to change the way the gaming industry is going to be for like the next 5 to 10 years or longer?
I personally feel like if Xbox launches a big game, a really big game, especially a game like when Gears 5 came out, nobody had any expectations of it. So nobody, had any negative views or anything on it. I played it the first week it launched, actually 3 days before it launched, because I had the Poland version of it. So when people went into it, I feel like if that game would have had a 60-day period to stand on its own and actually create sales, and then after the sales reduced, then they put it on Game Pass, I feel like that would have been the better move. Because then they can capitalize on the sales. But with a lot of the games, when they say, okay, they paid this developer to put this game on Game Pass, no one knows what that developer makes. And it's other developers who have came out and said, Microsoft approached us about our game being on Game Pass, but we didn't like the deal, so we turned them down. So it's like, what are they actually getting off these games? What are they getting paid for these games? Besides just, okay, we just want our game to shine. If it's an indie game, it's good. You know what I'm saying? You put a game like Shantae or let me see, what's that campfire game? I can't think of what that game is with the little character that's in the camp that goes to different campfires. Or like a small game like Hades. Those games, if you put them on Game Pass, for launch, that's good shit for them. Game Pass, PS Now, Xbox Gold, PS Plus, any of those games launch up there, it's a good look for them because they're going to automatically start off strong. But when you take a game that's well established, like I could never see them spending from $50 million to $200 million on God of War or Uncharted and putting that on PS Now day one. Because they own PS Now. They own Uncharted. So when they put it up there, they don't have to pay those developers a large lump sum for all that hard work they invested into their own game because they already own the IP.
I think that's why Xbox try to go ahead and up the prices for the subscription because it's
and it bit them in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like they try to go ahead and up it, but people aren't gonna.
That was for gold though. That wasn't for Game Pass. That was for gold.
Although
think about it. But think about it. Look at the quality of the games that they've been getting for the last 2 years. The quality of gold has dramatically been trash.
It's trash.
That gold used to be like every now and then plus and gold would kind of alter to be like 2 months of one and 2 months of the other one, having strong titles. But the last 2 or 3 years, I don't know what the hell been going on with gold. I've been looking at it like, because I was subscribed up to last summer. So I built like a lot of my Xbox 360 games just using gold because you don't get to really keep like the last gen games for PS4 or for Xbox One. They just add them to your account as long as you have gold or plus.
Right.
So, I'm just like, okay, well, what's going on with their games? And then they say, okay, we ain't gonna give y'all no good games, but we gonna force y'all to pay double the price for gold. And it basically said, okay, if you don't want to play that for gold, then you better go get Ultimate for $180. Right. So it's like, yo, where the hell did that come from? And it was no post on the Microsoft page or nothing. It was just like, they just popped it out there like, yeah, we about to go to this price. Y'all got to deal with it. So I'm like, yo, like, I know if PlayStation do that bullshit, I'd tag the fuck out of them. I keep tagging them, talking trash to them. I don't care. I ain't kissing no executive ass on that one. Like, nah, bro, you ain't about to get me with that. That's why when people be like, merge Plus and merge PS Now, there is no benefit to merging those two services. PS Now already gives you free online multiplayer. It's included in the service.
Mm.
PS Plus is discounts on games. It's but you know how Xbox has the weekends where you can play a game for a weekend.
Yeah.
It's the same thing on Plus. They have those trial weekends and stuff. The same thing on Plus, and then they'll give you, your monthly games or whatever. So I'm like, why do I need to merge PS Now? I have PS Now. I don't even use it. My son barely uses it. He's 8. You know what I'm saying? He got so many games on my profile. I had to remind him to download Borderlands 3. Right. Like, yo, Borderlands 3 and Marvel Avengers is up there. Go
They
download
just released it last week.
Play together. Huh?
They just released it last week.
Yeah, I'm like, go up there and get those and we can play those together.
Right.
But I'm like, other than that PS Now, it don't get used. And my son plays anything. Like, so I'm like, yo, and I play anything. So I'm like, yo, look, I was just playing, what's that game with the alien all humans must, what is it?
Destroy all humans.
Destroy all humans.
Yeah.
I was playing that in Ape Escape. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get playing the old games. I understand that. But it's like, I got so many games in my own catalog that's bigger than PS Now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got
Right.
1,500 items in my PS3. Like as far as content on my PS3, and then I got like 700 on my PS4. So it's like, what am I really in need for?
Yeah, I think the funny thing is though, like when it comes to PS Now, I literally just subscribed to it today just because of the Avengers game. I just wanted to check it out because I'm not paying full price for that shit. But dang it,
you like me?
Yeah. So the thing is, I think for Xbox Game Pass, even though I have a big backlog on my PlayStation, I don't have anything on my Xbox because I have Game Pass. Now, when it comes to Game Pass, with all these new releases and just certain games that they're releasing from like Switch, from like Nintendo with Dragon Quest 11, so like certain games that they're getting, that's a bigger deal as far as a streaming service or a paid service as like, for video games, because PS Now is just, it doesn't have a good catalog. I think if it had a good catalog.
How many games did you go through?
Like on
because Dragon Quest, if you take a side-by-side list and look at both of them, and you wipe out all the games that are the same, that dramatically changes. Because I went through Game Pass last week and PS Now, and I saw MLB, not MLB, what is it, 2K, all the 2K games from like 2014 all the way up to 2020. Madden 2014 all the way up to 2020. You got a bunch of influx of those sports games being repeated there to bolster up the list to make it look stronger.
For sure.
Now, it's worse on PlayStation.
On both services.
That's what I'm saying. It's worse. It's way worse.
And I was just about to say that on both of those services, they just threw a bunch of bullshit in there. But the thing is, what you got to also understand is a lot of PlayStation gamers are RPG, like adventure platformer gamers.
Yeah.
So a lot of those games, if you're an Xbox player, a lot of Xbox players are the shooters, the sports games, the multiplayer games. You know what I'm saying? I came up playing Final Fantasy, Legend of Dragoon, Tales of Mana, all those type of games. So when I look at the list of PS Now, I see that it is a role player's fantasy land. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can go up there and find 60, 70 something role playing games.
Yeah, but as far as like downloading goes, bro, like I say, it's cool in terms of like seeing all those RPGs and stuff. But at the same time, if you look at it, you gotta stream those PS3 games and stuff. You know what I mean? Like those RPGs. I was looking at Akiba's Strip or whatever. It's like a cool JRPG, and I had to stream it to be able to play it. So as in for Game Pass, you can download every single one of those games. That's more attractive to me in terms of like, playability, because I'm like, I want to download this. I'm not trying to stream these games. I hear what you're saying though, because it definitely is an RPG heaven in terms of like PlayStation. Because come on now, like we have Persona, we have all that.
Persona, Dark Cloud, all those different games.
Exactly.
Like I think it sucks that they can't emulate the PS3 properly, so they haven't done it. But it's just like most, like I'm saying, most of the games, if you're looking for PS4 games, it's a shitload of downloadable PS4 games up there.
Yeah.
And the PS2 games, like I said, Ape Escape and some of those other games, I downloaded those and played those fine right on my PS5. So,
funny.
And my PS4.
Yeah, for real. I think what they need to do is up the ante on the games that they're giving out, because I look at all the like I have a backlog of games that I bought, but then when I see PS Now, I'm like, all right, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one. It's like it's a lot of games that aren't really that hard. Like it's like, but when I'm on Game Pass, I'm like, oh shit, this is coming over to Game Pass, or I don't have that one. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe if they up the ante in terms of like certain games, but Game Pass is definitely, I don't know if this turned into a chat of Game Pass versus PS Now. But,
it definitely is.
But Game Pass is definitely offering a lot more. But I see what you're saying in terms of like what they offer. But I think like the average gamer, like in terms of like of the gamer who actually games a lot, has those games already on PS Now.
And that's what I told you, right, Denzel?
Yeah.
I got too many of it. Like I got games that are on Game Pass. I got games that are on PS Now. Right. I got I probably still got like 600 games that I haven't even played on my PS3. Like if you look, I'm gonna show you my camera right here. Y'all see right there in that corner? That's 180 PS3 games that are my disc games. I still got over 600 on PS3 digital. You know what I'm saying? I got 1,500 pieces of content on my PS3 digital. So I'm like, I'm not missing out with either of the services because I'm so used. I deployed 5 times. So every time I went to buy games, I bought 5 games.
Got a question for you though. By you having the PS5 now, do you really see yourself going back playing daily games?
I tell you right now, if you look at my profile, you'll see that I just was playing. What is it called? It's a goofy game, Costume Quest 2. I don't know if y'all ever heard of it. On PS3, you put costumes on and it turns you into superheroes and shit, like an RPG game for kids. But I like that weird shit. You know what I'm saying? But I just played that 2 or 3 days ago. My PS3 is hooked in my bedroom right now to my TV. Right here behind
over there, bro. I saw the GameCube. Hey,
there's an Xbox One, PS5, Atari, GameCube.
Atari, that looks amazing.
Freaking Dreamcast. I got a Wii. I
got it all.
I sold 2 Xbox, one for a friend and one for I sold mine last summer. I sold my alternate PS4, my 2013 PS4 in January. My son got a PS4 Pro in his bedroom. My daughter got a PS4 at her house, and my other 2 boys, they got a PS4 and a PS3. And I got a PS3 over in the corner on top of those games too. And I got one in my bedroom.
What about a PS2?
You sound like a GameStop right now. All these
You definitely sound like GameStop.
Man, I keep a game on deck, man. And my computer, I got like probably about 300 games on PC too.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, you can never get bored. You can never get bored.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, yo, it's convenient for people who don't have the time or the finances to buy the games, but I deployed so much with no taxes. So I was just like, yo, it's payday. I'm going to the PX. The dude be pulling the new games out the box. And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking that. I got all the games day one. And I just ran back to my room, started playing them joints as soon as they came out. Right. And I just, like my games from 2009 don't even have scratches on them. They look brand new.
And so would you say you're more of a physical collector in terms of like,
PS4, I started doing a lot. Well, shit, when I say my catalog on PS3 is digital, it's huge. I think it's some of the games because some games, even on Xbox, some games aren't offered physical because they're smaller titles.
Right.
I'll just get in the rhythm of saying, you know, I'll buy this indie game because I like Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood. I beat that on Xbox.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood, Shantae, and what is it? She like the half genie princess or something. I forgot what the hell she was.
Hey, did you play Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons?
Yeah, I beat that on Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh yeah, now I remember that one.
That's a good game. That's a real good game.
PS3 too? That was on PS3, right? And PS4.
It was on. Yeah, it was on. I had it on PS3. I think it was on PS. I had it on PS3 or PS4. One of them.
Right.
So let me ask y'all this. So I'm gonna say how I feel about Game Pass first, real quick. Then I'm gonna ask y'all something about it. So I like both services, PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass, but to me, PlayStation Now has all the potential in the world to be as good as Game Pass. But I look at it like, no, Microsoft is doing the correct thing because they're creating content, they're creating their product, and they're putting it within their streaming service or their subscription service. When you look at Netflix, you look at Hulu, the entertainment services, like if they would have come out and say, oh yeah, you're subscribed to our service, we're coming out with a brand new TV show. Oh, by the way, but if you want to watch that, you got to pay extra. The whole purpose of them creating their content is so that they can draw more people in to their subscription service. Because, say like, they might sell like 3 or 4 million copies, right? That's 3 or 4 million people that's purchasing the game at full price. But if you have Game Pass, that can draw more people in at a cheaper price, but you'll have a much bigger install base. Like, for example, you can go from selling 3 or 4 million copies to having like 16 million people playing it, and that's microtransactions that's going along with that.
You got to look at what the executives are looking at. Phil Spencer and them have said in interviews that they like interactions. That's what they draw off of. PlayStation executives, whether it been Sean Layden or these current assholes, they want to see their bigger games flourish. They like the fact that their games are getting these big awards. They like all this attention on their games. You know what I'm saying? Game of the year, all those awards and stuff start making them look like, okay, well, we doing so good with the initial sales of these games that we don't have to we're not going to spend $300,000 to $300 million to build this game, put all this work in, and then put it in, and then we have a sale, and it says $1 for 3 months of access to this service.
I don't think games cost that much though. $300 million? That's a stretch.
Look up the prices for God of War, Uncharted 4, for even Days Gone wasn't cheap.
Well, I know they're not cheap. No, I know they're not cheap.
That is true.
But when you look at that game, The Last Guardian, how many times it was delayed.
Oh, God.
That game is a beautiful game, but it's a very, very slow game.
The AI is shit, bro. The AI is shit.
It's shit. But the thing is,
I'm looking at it right now. It say God of War had a hold up. No, man, that was God of War 3. Keep going. I'll let you know. Give me a second.
Yeah, like when you look at some of the prices of them games, because what you gotta look at, you're looking at production, shipping, marketing. All this stuff is add-on after the production cost. So if I spend all this money, look at shit, y'all like Cyberpunk. How much money? Y'all know Cyberpunk was announced in March of 2013.
It was 13, although it was damn.
It was 2012.
2012, yeah, of 2012. That game was announced. It didn't start production until 2016.
Right.
And that was because they got hacked. They got hacked before, and then they recently got hacked over the last few months.
I found it, guys.
So when you look at all that shit, if I think about it, okay, the Avengers movies, if like they can do WandaVision and all that stuff, and they was talking about how expensive WandaVision was, how much money that it cost. But when it comes to TV is based off views. Yeah. It's not based off physical interactions with something. Because I know I have turned on a game and then turned it off, and it'll show that it's still gonna say I engaged for that game. Remember Phil used to report how many bananas was ate on Sea of Thieves and shit like that. I played Sea of Thieves for an hour. I said, hey, other people like it. This shit ain't for me. This shit boring as hell to me. Turn that shit off, uninstall. I never returned to it again. But he got that interaction recorded because I started that game. When it comes to when the initial response off a game, that's the purest form of interaction. Y'all just said a while ago with Outriders, everybody playing Outriders, so it basically flooded the servers. You had people go out there and play and say, I don't like it, it's not for me, get off. And some people go out there and say, this is a hell of a game. But the ones who are who were invested into that game, who said, I'm going to pre-order this game before it was announced going to Game Pass, those are the ones you want to see their interaction. It means more to you. If I say that The Last of Us is coming out, do I want every PlayStation player to play The Last of Us, or do I want the fans of The Last of Us to enjoy the game in peace? If we would have added factions to The Last of Us 2, would those true fans been able to access that server to play that game, or would it have been flooded with people who had no clue what factions was? So you got to look at how they actually engage in. PlayStation likes seeing these games sell like crazy. They just said that even though Days Gone sold great when it came out, because Days Gone got announced for some record sales when it first came out too, but because it wasn't received because of Metacritic, Games Rant, and Games Radar, they all talk shit on the game, that they just canceled the sequel to Days Gone. Regardless of how good it sold, regardless of how much good interactions, and it just got put on the PlayStation Plus collection and PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Just to build more people playing it. Just, it's not officially announced by Sony, but if that game don't get a sequel, how many fans is let down regardless? It didn't matter how many people engaged in it. It's how people receive the game when it comes out.
Yeah, and I think that's the funniest thing too, bro, because it's like, look, Days Gone was decent. I remember playing it and I was like, I went in with low expectations and I was like, all right, played it, enjoyed my time with it, right? But then hearing the news about The Last of Us remake, I'm like, bro, if you put all this money and all this time into a new IP like Days Gone, and then you're just gonna go ahead and milk the fucking Last of Us franchise just to go ahead and get a full reboot for the first one, I'm like, yo, Sony's fucking up in terms of like creating new IP or continuations of like Days Gone. Like they need to do something in terms of like fixing that piece of like that. Like, bro, it makes me angry because I'm like, bro, like Days Gone, y'all push that so hard, and then when niggas finally play it, then it's like, okay, oh, this is great. But then now you're not gonna support that forever. Like that's ridiculous. And you want to go back to like old stuff. So many remasters and like what remasters and what do you call those things? Like HD remakes or
the remakes and stuff. They add more content.
Yeah.
So hey fellas, I feel like
the only. What's up?
So what I'm looking at right now, it say God of War budget was $44 million for 2018.
I said that's production costs. Then you got to look at the marketing and all that stuff that comes after that too, though.
Right. So
pull up. Okay, so if you invested $44 million into a game,
right?
And say if you just made that game, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, you want to put it on this service? We're gonna give y'all initial $10 million of sales. Are you gonna be down with that after you just put all that work and all that financial backing into that game?
It really depends because you gotta look at it because like you said, Microsoft and Sony, they're looking at it in two total different aspects.
Exactly. They like engagement, which is nothing wrong with that. They want to see engagement. They want to know how their users are interacting, how the fans are interacting. I totally understand that. Sony you got to look at it too. Microsoft already has big billions and everything around them. You know what I'm saying? Both of the companies are billionaire companies. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it, Microsoft is a software company. You know what I'm saying? Sony has always been a hardware company. PlayStation is literally one of their strongest assets next to movies and TV shows. So if PlayStation doesn't generate those sales and something goes wrong where that hardware fails, that is a massive blow to them. Microsoft can come out tomorrow and say, fuck Xbox. We not supporting it no more. They good. That's a small piece of a big giant ass pie. Whereas PlayStation is the money maker for Sony. It makes way more money. Why would they give up that money? You know what I'm saying?
It's starting to change now for Microsoft.
Until some games launch, I'm holding my tongue on that.
No, the reason why I say that because I watched the interview with Phil Spencer, and he was talking
I don't
about.
listen to nothing that man say.
And they were talking about how Microsoft was actually about to sell the Xbox brand because they wasn't really on track with or on par with the PS4, and the CEO that they had at the time wasn't about to support Microsoft. They only had 6 in-house studios. He wasn't giving them money. That's why they couldn't get exclusive because the former CEO wasn't trying to support them because he didn't like video games to begin with personally. So I guess he had like a personal thing against it. And then when they couldn't compete with Sony, he said, "Yeah, I'm going to kill this off." But then he left, and then the new CEO took over, and he went to Phil Spencer and was like, "Why should I keep this around?" And Phil Spencer pitched to him like, "Look, gaming right now is one of the biggest growing industries in entertainment." And he was like, "We can generate a lot of money, make a lot of profit, but you have to give me a chance to take the brand in the right direction because the leader before me, he wasn't doing so high. Like he took the brand and almost tanked it." And so he pitched a plan for them to make a profit, and he said that he need everyone in the house because he said that their studios, like their marketing team, was in one state, their development people was in another state. Then they had like their the budget team in another state. He said he needed everyone under one building, and they need everybody to work together. And then he was like, he gonna come up with a plan to generate more money, which was Game Pass. And so that's when the new CEO gave him 100% backing and told him he had unlimited funds. And so that's when Phil Spencer went and did what he did. And that's why Microsoft turned it into what they is now.
Pause on that. I'm gonna call you on that one.
Okay.
So Game Pass was remodeled after Zoom Pass, which you heard of that?
Zoom Pass? No, I didn't.
When the Zoom product started to fail and Microsoft thought about killing it off, they came up with Zoom Pass, and they started making it so you can access all this Zoom content, free music and stuff automatically on your Zoom before they killed it off, because they had a legacy of killing off software.
Zoom is fucking
exactly.
Oh my God.
Zoom, as far
I forgot about Zoom too.
As far as it being a good product, it worked. That Zoom used to work just as good as that damn the iPods and all that shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was just as good, and it was a lot easier to organize your stuff and everything. But part of their plan was, okay, this product is failing. We thinking about killing it off, so we need to come up with an idea to keep this product flourishing. They came out with Zoom Pass. Phil took the same idea and said, "Let me come out with Game Pass." For a couple of years, because we had this whole debate online. We pulled up games like Devil May Cry, where Capcom was complaining about, hey, look, Microsoft marketed us for Devil May Cry 5. They had all the marketing. They paid all these millions for marketing for Devil May Cry 5. Then when you look at the sales for Devil May Cry 5 was less than 25 million. When you look at the sales for 25%, the sales for PlayStation were over 50, almost 60%, and they didn't even have marketing for the game. The game came out on Xbox with content that wasn't even available on PlayStation. So when you look at some of these games, Capcom was saying, "Hey, we keep releasing these games, and we're not seeing people buy them on this platform." So a lot of the Japanese games, like, "Hey, we putting our games up there, people are not buying them." So it's like, "Hey, we can at least generate some sales. We put it in Game Pass, then we can get some money off that product when we put it up there." So they get a little bit of their money, but they still not getting the amount of money that they're getting on the other platforms.
That's kind of not fair because Sony at the time had triple, almost quadrupled the install base. So of course they're going to have more physical sales than Xbox because they was outselling them 4-1. That's inevitable.
But you say the install base, when you look at every game, how many games sell over 15 million at launch on any platform?
Oh, none.
Nintendo launched their Nintendo in 2017. What's that game? What's that game with little weird people going over people's houses and shit? I forgot what that shit is. It came out.
Animal Crossing? Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Animal Crossing sold 32 million. 32 million, and it's still selling.
That's a different audience, though.
It's more of a casual audience. It is.
That's a different audience.
But you have to look at it. He said based off the install base. So I'm going off the logic that he put out there. Because when you look at it, Microsoft and Nintendo were around the 50 to 60 million selling point for that console. You know what I'm saying? And for a while, what you got to look at too is if that Xbox came out in 2013, and then they made a more supreme version in 2017. Why does the Switch come out in games like Zelda that came out on the Wii U and all these games sell more copies of those copies of those games than Microsoft sells of their console?
These games pass
by the console.
IP, bro.
It's the install base.
Yeah, it's the install base, but it's also the IP in terms of like say for instance, Animal Crossing, right? You have a broader, that's a more of a casual game. You have a broader audience. So like at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you have like kids, teenagers, like
mothers,
all grandmother. Yeah, exactly. They have that grandma who be playing Animal Crossing all the time and posting on YouTube. Like you have so many people playing Animal Crossing because it's such a casual game, and you know that IP for Animal Crossing sells itself.
It's not the same for Devil May Cry.
Exactly, because Devil May Cry, if you think about it, like not a lot of new players, like probably what do you want to say, like 90s kids know Devil May Cry, right?
Right.
But a lot of kids who were brought up in the 2000s and things like that, they don't really know Devil May Cry unless it's like somebody who told them about it. And like even me, like I was born in '97, right? So when I like look at Devil May Cry, I'm like, okay, all right, that I saw my cousin play it for the first time. It was like Devil May Cry 2. I was like, what is this? And so I checked it out when I was a kid. And then when I grew up, I knew about it because of somebody else. I probably wouldn't have known about that if I didn't get exposed to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like Devil May Cry is a niche game. It's like the one who wants to do action with like that hardcore metal type of thing, but it's really not like on the same par as Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing is for everybody, bro. Like everybody, and it's an E-rated game rather than Devil May Cry being a mature rated game. So you gotta think about the ESRB ratings too, because I mean some parents don't let people play that mature rated games. Like I mean I used to not be able to play that shit until I was like, what, 13? So like,
you got no front. I had some violent games all my life. My mama bought us Mortal Kombat day at launch.
But some games do have the exception though, like Grand Theft Auto 5. That's one of the few exceptions when it comes to mature games that sell like that.
Yeah, and
I mean, look at that game. That game for a perfect example. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been. Too. Wait. It already been on Game Pass before.
Yeah, it's the second time.
Now also. But that's what I'm saying. But when you look at that game, Grand Theft Auto all the way up to this year still was in the top 10, top 20 most sold games. How the fuck do people not have Grand Theft Auto? It's been out PS3, Xbox 360, all the way up to PS5, getting remastered again, remastered again for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. How do people still not own that game?
This is how I look at it.
That game is literally the best sold game of all time.
It's the best piece of entertainment sold all time.
Exactly. So how is it people still don't own that, man?
This is how I think about it. Back in 2013 when the game first came out, you have a lot of people that may have been like 8 years old. And 7 years later, 2020, 2021, that child that was 8 is now 15 or 16. He's just now getting into games like that. So they start to sell to a whole new audience. And they still build on top of that because that type of game gravitates to a lot of teenagers.
That game was also $10 to $15 for most of a year.
That's true too.
On both consoles.
That's true too.
Like at that point, you just being cheap as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have been bought and owned that game. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like with certain games, they shouldn't still be topping the charts, saying that billions of people are buying these games, and then it's still, you know, every single month, literally since they launched, that game has been the most sold game. Everybody should have that damn game by now. Your uncle should have had it by the time you turned 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the hell y'all ain't got that damn game yet? I got that game in 2015. I was done with that game in 2016.
But you gotta think about the online content too. Like it seems like every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months, they add new content to that game.
Yeah, I got my $1 million just 2 days ago. I don't even really play online, but I go in there and collect them millions. You gonna give me free millions? I'm gonna go collect that shit.
Right.
So
I mean, that's a good deal.
I feel like they got the perfect formula to give it a
free
game
DLC.
longevity. Yeah.
But I feel like Nintendo, as far as like a gaming company, if we're talking about exclusives or just like the IP that they have in general, like Nintendo is its own beast. Like they have things, and I think when you were saying that, was it Heavenly Sword coming out? I think it's a Heavenly Sword HD remaster coming out in May. How did that?
Heavenly Sword?
Yeah, Heavenly Sword. It's a new remake coming out for Switch this May.
You sure it's Heavenly Sword? It's not like Hellblade or something?
Nah, it's Heavenly Sword.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Yeah,
I ain't seen that.
I like when you were saying that in terms of like how are the games that are getting remastered being sold more and like, you know, looked at more on the Switch, is because I think that people woken up to those IPs in terms of like, say for instance, Breath of the Wild was a big hit. So now they're gonna ride the Zelda name just because it's like, oh, it's Zelda. So everybody gonna want to go ahead and play Heavenly Sword HD remake because it's a Zelda game. So people who said, oh, I love...
Yo, that's Skyward Sword. I'm thinking about Heavenly Sword with Nariko.
Oh, no.
Yo, I'm like, hold on, bro, you got me messed up over here, man.
Skyward Sword, yeah. See, like, and even like Mario, bro, like Odyssey did so well. So now people who are introduced to Mario from Odyssey at a younger age is going to want to go ahead and play the Super Marios because it's like, oh, it's just the IP, the name, you know?
You know what's crazy? Sunshine, one of the best ones, man. I don't care what nobody says.
And this is what I want to say to you too, Jamil. So, you know how you said how Nintendo be selling their IPs more than they got consoles sold? I'm prime example. I don't have a Switch, but look what I got.
Yeah, because that's going to be a collector's item.
Right.
I don't care what you say. You can hate Mario, but if you got every Mario that's ever released and you box them up or something, it's no way you in 20 years you're not gonna make some bread off them.
That's big.
Because them Mario games, soon as they take them off the shelf, them games go online and them scalpers be selling it. Like I think they got an issue right now. A game was it might have been, I don't know if it was that, but a game was recently taken off the Nintendo store.
Yeah, it was this one right here.
Yeah, people buying it for like $900 right now.
Yeah, imagine like GameStop, bro, like the most diabolical company in terms of like not giving you money for trade-ins, right? Anytime.
Hold on, I think my Xbox just got here. Hold up, y'all can go ahead.
Anytime you trade in like a Nintendo IP, that's more profit in terms of trade-in money from GameStop than it is for other games. So like, say for instance, I trade in like, I don't know, Destiny 2. I mean, that's a really bad game to reference, but it'll be like $5, right? But you know you're gonna get $30 from Zelda or from Mario, from any of those like Nintendo IPs, because it's Nintendo. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they try to hustle me with my games. I don't even mess with games. Like I took that whole stack of games over there in a box, pulled them out, showed them that every game didn't have no scratch on them.
Right.
My PlayStation at the time, my PS3, I had opened it up, cleared it all out, made sure it was dust free, everything. Took it over there with all the original parts, working controllers.
$2.
Dude told me $50.
Damn.
For what?
I said, yo, for 180.
Yeah, nah.
170, 180 PlayStation 3 games with no scratches on them in the original boxes with all the original books that came with the games.
Nope.
And a pristine console with 2 controllers, $50 at GameStop. I was like, bro, you can kiss my ass, bro.
Wow.
I was like,
yeah, that's
blatant disrespect. I'm like, you gonna put them? I was like, you gonna put every game on that shelf for no less than $19.99, bro. Like, and you want to give me $50? I'm like, this is almost 200 games, bro. Get out! I don't care if they Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Wii. If I show up there with almost 200 games, you're not gonna get me for no less than $200.
I don't even use GameStop anymore. I just straight up sell eBay because I mean everybody's looking for stuff on eBay in terms of like
I use OfferUp.
You got eBay, you got Facebook Marketplace, you got Twitter. Like you can sell it anywhere.
Yeah, and you get more of a profit because
even Amazon.
Supply and demand. It's supply and demand. What'd you say?
Even Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know, like
I got $250 off of the original Switch. $250 off that.
Yeah.
I got last month. I got $250 off the. I got $250 off the PlayStation 2. I mean PlayStation 3. I mean PlayStation 4. My bad. Off my OG 2013 PlayStation 4, and I got $200 off my Xbox last summer. Okay. And that was when I think what they sell the Xbox One for now. Like, is it like it's still like $200, right? $200 to $250.
Which one?
For the Xbox One, the One S.
I think it's like $250.
Yeah, I sold. That Joker was almost a year, 2 years old, and I still sold it for $200. And I sold it for $200 with a controller that was doing that straight shit. You know, where it just be running off and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it was just kind of like it kept pushing to the left for some reason. But I sold that for $200, and I told the lady that it was like this. I still sold it though. GameStop be on some rip-off shit.
Yeah, they do. I don't use GameStop. Only thing I use GameStop for is to buy something new. Other than that, I don't use GameStop.
Yeah, like for my 360, I go in GameStop and I'll be like, hey, let me look at this shelf real quick. They got some games for $3 to $5 or whatever. I grab about 6 or 7 games for the 360 just so I can build a little catalog with the 360 or whatever. So I got about 20 physical games on the 360, and then I got about probably like 40, 50 something games digitally. But I just be like, yo, like if it's cheap, I'll take advantage of that, but you're not gonna fuck me over when I come turn some shit in and try to hustle me on no bullshit.
Right.
Because they'll be like, well, in the computer it says trade-in value is $40. Just get the fuck out of here.
Right, definitely.
Like, bullshit.
And I got another topic right here, man. Like, so there's been a rumor that Battlefield 6 is coming out the Game Pass on day one.
Yes, sir.
Shit, Battlefield's a system seller, man.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like even if it didn't come on Game Pass and it just launched on the Xbox, and that was if they had timed exclusivity to it, that's a system seller. Battlefield is Call of Duty's only true competition because Medal of Honor is dead. I mean, we don't hear nothing about Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor is realistic as hell, though.
Yeah, they did that VR game recently, but that shit is not even talked about to this day. Like
SOCOM, you don't hear nothing about that.
No, they brought SOCOM back though, and they really like made like some like crazy shit to it. That might be a good winning IP. Just if the people who know about it just push it up there, you know what I mean? Like if they push the IP up, it would be crazy.
I think it'd be better if it did come out on Game Pass. If it was X Series X and X Series S exclusive, and the past consoles, if it was just focused on next gen hardware, I feel like it would max out sales for those consoles. Like I feel like people would go ape shit because then it's a true next gen game. Like Demon's Souls, that sold a lot of PS5s. Mm-hmm. Just because I couldn't buy it for my PS4. You know what I'm saying? Right. That game, It Takes Two, that was PS4 and PS5. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of games that are cross-generation, so people was like, all the games coming out for both systems, so I don't have a need to buy the console. But as soon as you put out some shit that's exclusive to that one console, then people gonna gravitate like, yo, I gotta get this sale because I gotta play this game. Like, I gotta get this game. Ratchet & Clank come out, I bet them damn PlayStation's gonna sell hard. Like, regardless of if you like it or not, them games gonna sell. If Halo Infinite come out and they do the smart plan and only put it on next gen equipment so it'll actually perform the way it's supposed to perform, it's gonna sell them consoles. So if it's good, because last year that shit like trash.
So two things. I feel like Microsoft won't do that with Halo Infinite simply because they want people that's on the Xbox One to play the game. They only released one Halo on the Xbox One so far, so I feel like they feel like they owe the fans a second game for that platform. And second, I wanted to say, you talked about if Battlefield 6 was a next-gen exclusive, you feel like it would max out the sales for the Xbox, correct?
If it was timed exclusive, just for the Xbox. I feel like if it didn't go to Game Pass and it just launched. Like, hey, look, it's an X Series X. The game is that powerful that we could only make it for this console.
Right.
People gonna buy it because Battlefield's a top system selling game.
Now, this is what I want to ask you as a fan. If you were a fan of the Xbox and you had a Game Pass, right? Would you rather have 6 months of exclusivity for the platform, or would you rather have it be on both Xbox and PlayStation 5, but releasing Game Pass on day one? So as a fan, how would you feel about that?
As a me, you already know I'm gonna buy my game.
Okay.
So I'm for that game. That's one of the games that I probably would buy physical. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the Battlefield games I bought physical. I don't even play Battlefield like that. I play the story. I play a little bit of multiplayer, and then it's like, I might return to it later. I just like all the Call of Duty games. I play the story, a little bit of multiplayer, sit it to the side. But the thing is, I feel like look at Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It had the 1 year exclusivity on PlayStation.
Dude sat up for that. Look at him. He sat up for that.
He said what?
I said, dude sat up as soon as you said Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VII Remake has been out for a whole year. Right now, I can tell you right now, even if Xbox dudes don't like it like that, if that game drops, it's a Final Fantasy. It's in the series of greatness. Yeah, they got some shitty ass games like 15, but
and it's 7 though.
Abdul got put his 2 cents in right now.
Not only is it,
let him talk.
It's the blockbuster remake of a Final Fantasy, but it's like 7, which is probably like the most talked about Final Fantasy of all of them. It's probably if you're a fanboy of Final Fantasies, and that's your one.
So with your opinion being that, if that game, when that game is finally announced for Xbox, do you think that game should just straight up take advantage of the sales, or put it straight on Game Pass so everybody can play it? Yeah, that's cool, but that game is a guaranteed seller. It's no way that game ain't selling greatness if it comes out on the Xbox.
Yeah, there's a whole other side to the fanboyness.
Yeah, like
in Xbox.
Final Fantasy 13 13 remaster? Just came out with 13, 13-2, and 13 Lightning Returns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what those sales were, but that only came out on Xbox. It didn't come out on PlayStation.
Yeah, it might not be that big of a game changer. Like if they were to start releasing Final Fantasies on Xbox, or Xbox as well, because it's not like it's gonna awaken a side of gamers that have been waiting on Final Fantasies, because Final Fantasy releases generally on PlayStation anyway.
Yeah.
So if you play Final Fantasies like that and you've been waiting on a remake, then you probably got a PlayStation or something.
Right.
And I feel like Xbox games
even still, people that want to be on Xbox will be on that shit.
Yeah, I feel like Xbox gamers don't play too many RPGs, but I feel like they're starting to, and that's why I feel like they're bringing back Fable, because Fable is one of the all-time great RPGs, and they're giving it to one of their most prolific studios, Playground Games. Like, they haven't made a bad game yet, so I'm interested to see what Playground Games going to do and how they're going to execute Fable. So I feel like once a game like Fable drops for Xbox, I feel like RPG is going to start making a statement on Xbox. And then it's going to make people open their eyes to different types of games, or different type of RPGs that's on Xbox.
That's about the main RPG that like Xbox players know. Like I don't think that they have anything else that's original IP that's a straight up.
I know two.
Okay. Let me hear two.
Two strong ones. Two strong ones for Xbox.
Bet.
Blue Dragon. That's a good game.
All right.
It's not one of the greatest, but it's a very good game. And
I never heard of it.
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey.
Both on 360.
I never played Lost Odyssey, but I did play Blue Dragon, and yeah, like you said, it's cool, but it's not the greatest. But Lost Odyssey, I've never played, so
If you played Lost Odyssey, was actually
Phantasy Star. Didn't Phantasy Star come out on Xbox 360?
I think that did come out there. I think that did also.
Yeah, Xbox has the JRPG MMO Phantasy Star Online, and that's only on PC and Xbox. Now that, But what were you saying about Lost Odyssey?
Like Lost Odyssey was made by Square Enix.
Okay.
Really?
And it was actually supposed to be a Final Fantasy game, but they changed it midway through development, and then Xbox reached out and said, "Hey, look, we want marketing for this game," and it ended up being exclusive to Xbox. It's actually Xbox One and Xbox Series X compatible.
Wow.
What's it called?
So
I'm gonna have to copy
Lost Odyssey.
I'm about to check that out real quick.
You know, one thing though that is semi RPG and shooter though that's coming out soon is Mass Effect. Now, when Xbox, like, you know, in terms of, well, Mass Effect 3, I mean, the whole Mass Effect was on PS3, wasn't it? Or was it just?
I think Mass Effect 1 launched exclusive to Xbox,
right.
But I think it later got ported to PS3 because I think I got Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, and then I got Andromeda on the PS4.
Yeah. Right. I got Andromeda on PS4, but what do y'all think about as far as the Mass Effect Legendary Edition? What do y'all think about that? Like, are y'all willing to pay for the $60 price point for all 3 of the games as remastered, or Game Pass offers it for free, and it's all 3 of the Mass Effect? I mean, yeah, all 3 of the all 4, including Andromeda, but we don't claim that.
If I complete all the other ones, because I've never been like a huge Mass Effect fan, but if I completed all of those and then they said, hey, the remaster is gonna give me all new trophies,
right?
Yeah, I'll play it. My whole thing is I want to get my trophies. If I play the game and you ain't gonna give me no, you know, different version trophies of the game, then it's like, well, I'm just playing it just for nostalgia. I can just play the original shit I already own. You know what I'm saying? But if it, like, when I beat It Takes Two on the PS5 version, I went back and played It Takes Two PS4 version, and I got 2 platinum trophies behind playing that game. You know what I'm saying? If I play the originals and you give me trophies and then I play them again and you give me new trophies, hell yeah, I don't have a problem with repaying for a game. Shit, I just rebought Medieval.
Okay.
That game Medieval from the PS1.
Yeah.
I beat that and got a platinum in that. And originally, I only played the demo on the PS1. I never played the full game. I just played the hell out of that demo repeatedly, just like Parappa the Rapper and all those other silly games.
Right.
But if you tell me Parappa the Rapper is coming out again and you say, hey, it's a $35 price point, because you know some games launch at $35 because they know the value of their game.
Right.
So if you say it's a $35 version of Parappa the Rapper with added content, and then you add in like the other game, Jam and Lammy was like part 2. If you add that in there, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'd buy that and I'd try it out.
Hey,
I was
Black
trashing
Frost.
the original. What's up?
So I'm looking at it, Lost Odyssey. It was actually made by a company called Miss Walker Field Plus.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Square Enix.
Yeah, it came out
Because I
December.
know when it was first talked about, they were saying that it was like Final Fantasy and shit.
Yeah, it came out in December 07, and right now looking at the rating, they got a 4.8 out of 5.
Shit, that ain't bad. That's
Right.
pretty damn good.
That's backwards compatible too. Like, I've been seeing that. I've been like thinking about copping it because it's like $15 right now, and I'm like, yo, I really do want to play that one. But
No,
if you're
it's
saying
25. I'm looking at it right now.
it's 25.
what?
It's 25.
Shit, I'm copping that tonight then, bro.
It's they realize it still got value to it.
Yeah. Nah,
Like
'cause
that's not a bad game, man.
when I saw the RPG, like, yeah, exactly. When I saw that shit, like, when I saw the gameplay for it, I was like, yo, this shit is, like, actually, like, on par with a lot of games to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to cop that one.
Yeah, I felt like if they were gonna remaster or remake a game,
It should
that
be that
game
one.
was worthy of a remaster or a remake, man.
You never know. It might be next after Fable. They might give Playground Games that one next.
Hey,
Like,
shit.
our names are outsiders, man. So, I mean,
Did Miss Walker collapse though? Are they still around?
I don't
heard
even know
about
who
it
they
recently.
are.
I don't know. Miss Walker. I'm trying. What other fucking games did they make? I don't know, man. All these years, I always thought that was a Square Enix game. Honestly, I thought it was kind of like in the same vein as like Legend of Dragoon, because I don't think Legend of Dragoon was a Square Enix game. I think that was another company game. Because it was a highly acclaimed game, RPG game too.
But looking at the graphics and the screenshots, it looked just like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, It looked like they literally took the skin off a Final Fantasy game and put it on that shit.
Facts.
It's the same with Brave the Default, and that's on Switch right now, and that just came out like I think 2 months ago, and like it's the same shit. It's like a Final Fantasy clone. Final Fantasy is so it's crazy because Final Fantasy is like the mediator of what makes a good RPG. You know what I mean? So like
they use it as a base a lot of times.
Exactly. So yeah, nah. Blue Dragon. Going back to Blue Dragon though, like I know that it was on sale for like $5, like I think 4 weeks ago, and I didn't cop it again because I was like, yo, this shit, it doesn't have the same mechanics as much as Lost Odyssey. But the main thing that a lot of people slept on too was Ninja Gaiden when it came out.
That was slept on a lot.
Yeah.
Aren't they remaking that though?
Yeah.
No, they're not remaking.
I know they remastering or something.
Yeah, they're doing the whole collection.
But it's not the original one though.
Huh?
It's not the original version though.
What? I thought they were doing 1, 2, and Razor's Edge.
It's the Sigma version.
Oh, okay.
I remember Sigma.
But I feel like
I think they changed the name for it on PS3 for the Ninja Gaiden series. They changed some of the names on them, but they were the same exact game.
Yeah. Nah. I don't know, man. I feel like if Ninja Gaiden could have been like Xbox IP, I think that would have been great for Xbox because Ninja Gaiden 2 was like the epitome of like a low-key console seller to like the niche group of kids who wanted to play that type of game. You know what I mean? Like I really remember Ninja Gaiden 2 being like a really like
that shit was hard.
Yeah, like really hard. Like that's bro.
That was the Dark Souls of ninja games.
Exactly. I was about to say that. I was just about to say that too, bro. Like it was, and it made. See, that's why I like Neo so much because Neo goes ahead and takes those mechanics from Ninja Gaiden to make it into, you know, and now it's a PS4 exclusive, Neo 1. So now they made Neo, and I think Neo 2 is a PS4 PS5.
Yeah, and they got the remaster collection on the PS5.
Yeah.
Speaking of remasters, how y'all feel about Sony and Naughty Dog remastering a remaster with Last of Us remake?
Well, I feel like this. This is what I said on Twitter. If the remake shows what Tess and Joel did over the years after Joel's daughter died, that 10-year period before he even met Ellie, and then it shows what happened after he killed the doctor, Abby's father, if it shows like a portion after that, then okay, I'll support it. But if it's the same exact game and it's just prettier, I'm not buying this shit. I don't have a person to buy it.
It's gonna be the same exact game, bro. It's gonna be the same exact game.
But what you gotta look at it though, it's other games that's been remastered and remade. Like if you play, you ever played Shadow of the Colossus?
Mm-hmm.
Shadow of the Colossus is literally identical to the original.
Yeah.
But the play mechanics and everything, the controls and all this stuff completely fixed. The graphics and everything completely fixed. Yeah. But it was considered a remaster. When they remake it and stuff, they usually add a little bit more content into the game. Like Reckoning, when they did Reckoning Kingdom of Amalur, it's the same exact game, but it's a remaster.
Yeah.
The remakes and stuff, they change up shit a lot in those remakes. I mean, it's no
Demon
point in
Souls is a remake.
And it looks way better.
Demon Souls, it is a remake though. Abdul, going off of what you said, like Demon Souls.
A lot of people think that's just a brand new game, but
yeah, but it's not exactly.
And plus the company, being that they remade it, they can add DLC content to Demon Souls now that they didn't have in the original game. You know what I'm saying?
And I wonder because I haven't played it.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
So I haven't played the Demon Souls, but did they add new stuff to the remake?
Yeah.
To the new one? They added new. I think they added like some new enemies or something to it. I can't remember. I just bought it. I still got to play through it and everything. But I mean, that shit is a nice ass game, man. It makes the original game look like ass.
Yeah.
That original game look like pure ass.
Booty cheeks, bro. Like just ass, bro.
Should have put you on your ass as soon as you start playing.
Yeah,
and the original, I think it dropped down as low as 15 or 20 frames per second a lot of time in the original game too.
Oh no.
Yep. The funny thing is though, bro, like I'm thinking about like remember Resogun?
Yeah, that shit is fun, yo. That shit's hard.
Right. So imagine I just found this out. Like, so Resogun, you know the game that's coming out at the end of the month.
Returnal.
Yeah, I literally just found out that Resogun, the people who made Resogun is making Returnal. So it's like, yo, is that about to be like a sleeper hit for PS5, bro? Like that's
people are sleeping on that game, man. Yeah. I'm telling people, I can look at that trailer, whether that was an Xbox, PlayStation, or whatever. Looking at that trailer, that's a buy. That's an automatic
mechanics.
buy.
Yeah.
He says called Returnal?
Because them enemies is crazy.
Returnal. You don't know Denzel?
That shit comes out on
this nigga got
20 days from now.
on his hat, so I mean, we you know.
That's a PS5 exclusive, boy. You don't know that. Look it up.
And he wondered why we be messing with him on the Facebook page.
I know what this is. I know what this is.
Hell yeah.
No, I know what game this is. Yeah, I was gonna get that regardless. I know what that game is.
Of course.
I didn't know the name though.
Because that shit looks dope. That's gonna be my first disc game for PS5.
Oh, for real? You got pre-ordered or not pre?
No, I'm gonna go get it.
Okay.
But nobody got no PS5, so if they release it in Walmart like that and every other store like that, I'm guessing there's probably gonna hopefully.
Facts. I still haven't got my first PS5 like physical copy, bro. Like
I
was thinking about. Yeah. It's funny because like all this shit's digital, damn near. Like, and that's one thing though. A topic. Have y'all played Oddworld Soulstorm?
I'm gonna play it this weekend. Before this weekend's over with.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, like if it's free for PlayStation Plus right now. I think that it's a dope puzzle game, but it was from the PS1 era when it first came out, and I never knew that. I never knew that was PS1 like only first. And then when they made it, when they revamped it, like like I'm telling y'all, like it's a dope game as far as a puzzler goes. You know what I mean?
That was actually a new one in the story though. Because I own Oddworld Monk's Odyssey, Oddworld Age Odyssey, and for the Vita I got Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. Okay. It's like you play with this dude. He kind of like a cowboy with two guns and stuff.
Right.
He just run around shooting shit up. But every Oddworld is weird to explain. But with the games with Abe, who's on Soulstorm,
yeah.
A lot of like in the original games, Abe found out, his people were eating meals that were made out of his people. He worked in a factory and he was packing all this food up, and they had armed guards watching them. And if they made a mistake, they would shoot them up. And when they killed them, they would put them in the meat machines and turn them into their food and feed them each other. And he found out, so he escaped from the factory. That game is bloody as shit.
Yeah, it's a dark undertone. Like it's like the way they talk and everything. You don't think that's gonna be like some shit where it's like family friendly. I mean, you think it's gonna be family friendly because of the animation and things like that. But when I looked at like Soulstorm, I was like, yo, this is like dark. Like seeing the first couple gameplays and like going through the first couple levels, I'm like, yo, this is actually pretty messed up. And it talks about corporate America. And kind of like if you make the distinctions between corporate America and like the game, it's like a factory.
It's a political game, dude.
Yeah, it's a political game.
The whole game is political as shit, and people don't realize it because they look at it and say, "I don't want to play this ugly shit." But when you play it, like I feel like if they had that on, if that one game, if that was on Xbox, I feel like it would have its own crowd.
Yeah, no.
Like, it'd be a lot of people that would adapt to it especially people who love indie games. That's not a bad game.
It's not. And playing Soulstorm, man, I fell in love with it, and it was just my first time. Because you said it's a new IP, so it like when I just started playing it, I'm like, yo, this is pretty fun. Like it's like a cool 2D side scroller, but then it's also a puzzle game, and it's also like you just gotta keep on thinking about like what you gotta do next. And the story just intrigued me so much. While I'm like, this is actually a good IP for PlayStation. So, hey man, we gotta go ahead.
They have those niche games that come out and everybody looks at them and say, nah, that's trash. I wouldn't play it. Like you play that game Maquette.
Which one?
They had a game called Maquette.
Never heard of it.
It's a puzzle game. It's a big open world puzzle game. It's like say if this is the puzzle in front of me, and I touch it. If I touch it right here, if I was able to look behind me, I could see this same world that I'm looking at outside. like basically every time I turn around and walk a few hundred feet, that same world that I was just able to touch and manipulate, it's behind me, but it's gigantic. And if I go even further, it gets so gigantic that I become small, like a micro person.
Wait, was this
so like Maquette? But it's a game like I played that with my homegirl, and it's like a game about relationships, about struggling, getting in a relationship, loving somebody initially, and then falling out of love with them. But it's like a puzzle game.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like that game, The Witness. A lot of these games, people look at it and say, I would never play that. But if you play it, you'll be like, yo, I played that shit to start to finish.
Yeah.
Some good ass games out there.
Yeah. Nah.
I played Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood. Just looking at it, I was like, that looks fun. Just looking at the cover of it. Yeah. I played that shit straight to the end. I ain't even turn it off. I just played it and beat it.
In one sitting.
What about Little Nightmares?
That's a badass game. That's a badass
I just started the first one. I never played the first one. I just started it like the other day.
It's a sick game, man.
Yeah. Nah. Have you played 2 Black Frost, or have you not? Have you?
For Little Nightmares?
Yeah, number 2.
I beat 1. I haven't played 2.
Yeah, I haven't played 2 either. But like the first one, the aesthetic and the whole like genre of horror that they took, it was like not really horror like Outlast. You know what I mean? But it was like it was a term of like, it was weird, but it wasn't really classified as horror, but it made it horror. That's what was so intriguing about it, because it was like, damn, this is damn near a horror game, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not classified as one. Yeah, no, like I was telling Denzel, we were supposed to be, what was it? The GameStop, the sale. Yeah, it was like on $18, like for the Nightmares 2, bro. Like I really wish.
Ain't that sale still going?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I really wish I could have got number 2, but
y'all should try Inside.
I beat that.
Or
I beat
play
that.
Limbo. You play Limbo?
I didn't beat Limbo, but I did beat Inside.
Inside's better than Limbo.
It is?
I'll say this. Inside is a weird fucking game.
Yeah. Yes. And that's why I love it so much.
Limbo is darker than Inside.
Yeah, definitely.
Limbo, me and my friend, we call it 1,000 Ways to Die.
Well, Limbo?
Because you get murdered a lot in Limbo. Compared, like Inside, you die a lot, but Limbo is way harder than Inside. But Inside still, you get murdered a lot on Inside if you don't.
Ain't it made by the same company?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. It's another game that's similar to those. The character's name is Yarny. Unraveled. If you play Unraveled 1 and 2, 1 is better than 2.
Wait, hold on. Okay, hey Dorian, did you play any of these games?
Which one? The Little Nightmares? Like, nah. Shoot, when it comes to horror games, I'm staying as far away from horror games as much as I possibly could, yo. Because like the moment I would even touch a horror game, I flinch as soon as I pick up the freaking controller. So I'd be like, games like this.
Oh, you a sucker!
Like,
so what's your main genre that you playing though?
Maybe like action adventure, I guess. So like I dabble onto like a little bit here, a little bit there, but like I do like sports games here. Like maybe I can get in like a little bit of 2K, a little bit of Madden or so, or something like that. But mainly it's like action adventure.
What would you say your top 5 action adventure games you've been playing?
Oh, wait, let's not forget PS5. We got a horror game coming up.
Yo, I'm mad that he slid that in there though. Like I'm mad he clearly just slid that in there.
But go on.
I mean, like for me, I think like the top action adventure, like for me, Marvel Spider-Man will probably be like my most favorite action adventure.
Okay.
Like I haven't really like played I haven't played the Miles Morales one because like I heard like a lot of that game is just really short, and for Miles Morales to be short the way that it was, I was just like, I may not dabble into stuff like that.
Oh, you
hey, I'm telling you straight up, don't sleep on it, bro.
Don't sleep on it.
It might be short, but it's a hell of a game, bro.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be short. You can play the side missions and all that collectible ass shit. It can be a trophy hunting experience. That's just
you can get some gameplay out of it if you want to be a complete.
And I guarantee you a platinum off that.
Mm-hmm.
I got my platinum.
But it's a balance thing, though. You gotta think of the balance though, because the Marvel Spider-Man did a great job of balancing with the side missions and the main missions. That's why the game itself, compared to Miles Morales, like that was lengthy. Like you could have as much fun as you could with Marvel Spider-Man compared to Miles Morales.
It's the same with Miles Morales. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the same.
No, like it really is not like.
I got double platinum. I beat it, started back playing it on the PS4 the next day. I got both of them. And when you look at that game, the swinging speed of Miles Morales is
faster.
Improved. His combos are just as badass, if not better than Peter Parker's.
It's better.
The only thing you're missing as far as adding to the link, Spider-Man had way more enemies. Miles Morales, a lot of his enemies, they basically, it was kind of like a test. Like put it out there, see how the market appeals to it. See if we can make a sequel to this game. They already know Spider-Man's gonna sell. Spider-Man's in the Marvel MCU. You know what I'm saying? He's got Sony movies. He's got all this shit. People just met it's a lot of people who just met Miles Morales when they did their animated movie like 2 Christmases ago.
Right.
It was like 2019 when that movie came out, I think. Or
a lot of people didn't know about him.
You said what?
A lot of people didn't know about him.
Yeah, they didn't even know that movie came out. People are recently just seeing that movie for the first time. They didn't even know who They thought they made up Miles Morales just to have a black character as Spider-Man just for that game. I'm like, no, Miles Morales been around for a long time. He actually got a lot of enemies and shit in the comics, and he goes through some of the same changes with the thinking of turning into a spider and all the stuff that Peter Parker went through. But if you play that game, bro, I'm telling you, it's a badass game. It ain't that you gonna get your hours worth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not gonna beat it. People be talking about you can beat it in 3 or 4 hours. Those speed runners.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I know that whole game like the back of my hand, and I still enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I run around before I even do the missions and collect all the damn collectibles and shit. I already got the trophy before I even do most of the missions, unless they block it. But it's a lot of shit to collect and a lot of shit to find up there, taking pictures of stuff and everything. Like, you enjoy it, man. Don't sleep on it, man.
And the one thing I'm wondering about the Spider-Man franchise on PlayStation is when they gonna kill off Peter and how.
Probably after like 3 games.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it soon. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I really don't think they're probably gonna end up doing it anyway. So.
You gotta look at it this way. It's Insomniac. Yeah. It's not Naughty. It's not Naughty Dog.
True.
Naughty Dog, like, they've had speeches about doing the it factor, doing the you didn't think we would do this, but we're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Insomnia is just like, we about to make a fun game that's a quality game, and we guarantee you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? That game that was on Xbox, Sunset Overdrive, that was just
a fun game.
I didn't get all the way invested into it, but it wasn't a bad game. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Ratchet & Clank games, Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter used to go neck and neck, back and forth with each other. Like, you could play a Ratchet & Clank game and find a sign that say Jak and Daxter in the damn game. The same thing in Jak and Daxter. Like, they would compete with each other in the games. Naughty Dog and Insomniac.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at their games, they're more lighthearted. We just want to have some fun and stuff with our game. Naughty Dog went from Jak and Daxter being a lighthearted game to this Joker got a bazooka and machine guns killing stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they always change it up and do something crazy. I wasn't surprised when Joel died. I expected that Joker to die after what he did. So, a lot of people, oh my God, they killed Joel. You know what I'm saying? People was shitting the
I just feel like they killed him too early, though.
They did kill him.
But that's the thing. But what you gotta look at it this way. If you wrote a book, how would you write a book? The way you saw that book to go? Or would you look at it and say, my fans want the book to go this way, so I'm gonna write it just how they want it? Because a lot of companies came out recently said, if I took all the ideas that my fans proposed to me for a video game and I put them in a video game, they would tear it apart for it being trash. So what they say is, we gonna put our best writers on it, and they're gonna write it from a continuation of part 1. Your boy Joe did some dirty shit, bro. Joe, he got saved twice by Ellie in part 1. The first time when he was about to get shot in that pool of water, when the dude had jumped him. The second time when he got the pipe, when he fell off the building and the pipe went through him. Mm-hmm. So, and then when you look at Ellie, he told Ellie when they rolled through, he said, this is an ambush. And Ellie said, how do you know? He said, because I used to do the same thing. and she was like to innocent people. And he just kind of shook it off like, I ain't even got to answer that. Like whoever, if I needed supplies, I needed food, whoever was innocent didn't matter. I was gonna fuck them up to get that.
I actually don't remember that.
Go back and play through it. They was in the truck right before they was riding in the truck. You know, after they dropped off his homeboy, the dude that he found out was gay.
Yeah.
His homeboy. They dropped him off and then they started driving. They saw a dude, like a real dirty looking dude standing in the street. And dude was like, help me out, please give me a ride, give me something like. And he was like, Joel was sitting there looking at him, and Ellie was like, aren't you gonna help that guy, Joel? And he was like, basically like, nah, this ain't what you think it is. It's an ambush. And then he rolled.
You know what? I do remember that. I remember that now.
And they took off. That's when they crashed the truck. They crashed the truck, and all those dudes start trying to ambush, trying to kill them and stuff, and take their stuff. So then he told her later on, like, when she asked him, like, yo, you ever experienced anything? He was like, yeah, I used to do it. Like him and Tess, look at the beginning. They killed that dude. They killed that dude because he didn't deliver them guns. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say he set them up for an ambush. He tried to kill them.
But it was their guns to begin with, though. He stole their guns.
It was their guns, but was that a legit reason to kill them? They had them right there. They could have went and got the guns.
But you gotta think about it though, like in the world like that, that's catastrophic. Stealing someone's guns.
Yeah, true. But they still had 2 guns on them.
Yeah, but imagine you got a whole arsenal, and someone is responsible for your guns, and they give all of your weapons to your enemy camp. That's catastrophic.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, they came from doing that for their illegal activities, all their little dark activities. They have been doing it for Tess. I think Tess was worse than Joel.
You think so?
I think Joel was the muscle. Tess was the brains.
So you think Tess was really doing some crazy stuff?
I think Joel probably was more stable. And then he stumbled across Tess when him and his brother broke apart. Because remember, his brother had a kind heart.
Right.
And he didn't want to live that kind way. He wanted to, even in the beginning, when the family was walking down the street, Joel was like, fuck them. I got a kid too. They can fucking die. We getting out of here, pretty much. They left a family on the side of the street with a small kid. He wouldn't even let them get in the car. You know what I'm saying? He in the beginning, he showed his darker side early in the game. So then when he go through all the end, and then Ellie tells him, like, I need this. I need a reason to have a purpose. Like she's saying, this gives me a purpose. It makes me feel like all the people I love didn't just die because they got bit and they died. I want to take a chance, even if it kills me, to possibly save everybody. And then Joel said, fuck that, I'm killing everybody in the fucking hospital and killing the one doctor in the world that's left that could possibly save everybody. So then when you look at it, like before part 2 was even announced, I was like, oh boy, dude about to die. I was like, something gonna happen. I was like, either Ellie gonna kill this guy or somebody else gonna kill him, because he just fucked up everybody and was thinking selfish. He was just thinking about his daughter. And then he lied to Ellie's face right before the credits went. Yeah, she said, are you telling the truth? Are you lying to me, Joe? Are you telling me the truth? And he basically said, I'm telling the truth. You know, basically come with me and listen to me. Right. So it was like, at that point, like, yo, you earned that death, homie. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't give nobody that chance to lie to your child like that, man. Lie repeatedly. Like, you wouldn't even lie to your... If you got a kid and you say, I'm going to be there for your birthday. You don't show up for their birthday 4 years in a row. People not going to trust you. People going to look like you a deadbeat dad. They're going to write you off. So when you look at it like, okay, Joe took away her one choice that she had, because she didn't have a choice to stay alive when the little girl that she was with died. She had to kill her. You know what I'm saying? She killed the one friend she had. What's the little black girl name? I can't think of her name. In the DLC.
Yeah, the DLC, the girl that she was experimenting with. I can't think of her name either.
I can't think of it right now, but she ended up having to kill her friend.
That was crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, you know, the shit happened.
And
like,
so, with them also confirming the Last of Us remake, they also canceled Days Gone 2, which we already brought that up earlier, but we didn't actually talk about it. I know dude, he's been playing Days Gone 2 recently. I'm not sure if he's playing it right now. Dorian, I'm not sure if you ever played the game. I played like the first 10-15 minutes of it, so I didn't get far into the game. I'm going to play it. I just want to get through my other games first before I get back to that. So I want to say, how do y'all feel about that not being confirmed or being denied as a remake or being denied a sequel?
I think it's a bad move for Sony. Days Gone was dope. It could have been better, and they could have added so much shit into it. Could have been way better than it was.
You see the light in Days Gone once you get into your first horde.
Nah, for real.
You it's before the hordes come. It's a lot of good parts, a lot of good story, but once you face the first horde of them freaking freakers, you definitely get woke up real quick. Especially if you ain't got no damn bullets.
For real? Hold on, you can run out of bullets?
Yeah, you run out of bullets in that joint sometimes, man.
It's just like a survival RPG. You gotta craft weapons and different ammos, silencers, and all that kinds of shit, bro. You out
there in the wilds. You out there in the wilds running around.
So it's like open world?
Intimidated than 40 to 80 people running after you.
Is it open world?
Yeah, you don't even have to do the missions. Majority of once you open each individual location, especially the first 2 locations, you don't even have to revisit those missionaries. You can just run around and clear shit. It's so much. It's hidden cave, it's hidden hordes, it's everything around there.
See, I didn't even get to that part where you can open up the world. I didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah. You can walk over a hill and look down the hill and see 90 bodies.
Wow.
Just walking around and you like, oh, they ain't fucking with me. And one of them sees you and screams, bruh, if you ain't got that motorcycle and it ain't filled up with gas, that's your ass. You're not getting, they running behind you hardcore trying to get you. And then they got you know how on State of Decay, they got the larger zombies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They got the big freakers and stuff that are really fast, and they'll run and bulldoze you over. It's a lot of crazy ones up there. Some that scream, and they cause the screen to I think it's your display will kind of have an effect to it when they scream and shit, and it makes your character dizzy, so you can't just run away. It's a lot of crazy shit up there, man.
So is it a way you can escape?
What's up?
Can you escape? If I say you ain't got your bike, can you escape a horde like that?
Hey, I had to roll out real quick. All right, I ain't making to a close, but I'm gonna have to roll out. I got something to do at 10, so I gotta get ready real quick.
All right,
bro.
All right, hey, peace.
All right,
peace out, Mikey Dog.
Peace out.
Yeah, you can get away from it. It's really, if you good at reading, let me see, terrain. If you know how to utilize the terrain, say if it's a bunch of creatures running after you, right? And you got a fall that you know you can survive if you fall off it. Usually those creatures won't follow you over the edge or something. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to run around the given path and try to get to you.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you run and you jump over a car or something like that, and you keep running and you run down say if it's an overpass or it's a dried up river. If you run off that overpass down around that river and then just keep going, sometimes if they lose sight of you, they'll leave you the hell alone. But you can put landmines down, you can set all sorts of trip wires, you can put a lot of shit out there and take out a whole horde in seconds.
Okay.
And freakers aren't even just the main problem in that game, bro. The humans are just as bad.
They're
like The Walking Dead. Yep. You could be riding your bike down a highway and there's a zip line between 2 cars and that bitch will catch your bike and then you got a sniper shooting you in the head.
Knock you the hell off.
With axes running at you.
Oh, it's really like The Walking Dead out there.
That shit goes 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah, it's like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, that's the perfect. It's exactly like The Walking Dead. You got small villages being built up. And even within the villages, they got turmoil in the villages where people don't trust each other. They backstabbing, all sorts of shit. And then you pretty much the running man. They say, hey, look, we know Deacon can get the job done. and he's proficient, and he has relationships with some of our enemies. So Deacon can run out and do shit that if they try to run out and do that, it'll be like gang wars and stuff.
Right.
So he just be out there just all over the place, just fucking up shit, and then he get attacked randomly. Like he said, you be riding down the street hauling ass, and a damn tripwire hit you in the throat, knock you off the motorcycle, or a wolf come running out of nowhere and jump at you and try to take you off the damn motorcycle.
Zombie wolves.
I didn't see shit. It was quiet as hell. Where the hell they come?
Yep. A little triangle button will pop up. I noticed that after a while you're just riding. No vibration, no fucking sound warning. It just pops up on the screen like a quick command. You got about a second to press it. And it'll shoot the wolf that's behind you. Like, I guess he hears it in character.
They'll jump in the air and you'll shoot them out of the air so they can't bite you. But it's quick.
Yep. And if you don't catch that shit, they'll snatch you off the bike.
For real?
High speed, damage, yep, there goes a quarter of your health or half. Yep.
Y'all gotta start playing that game then.
Bro,
yeah, they increased it too.
It's fun.
I think they increased it. I know they increased it to 60 frames.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know. I don't know if they increased it to 4K or not. But I know they did improve the visuals and frames and shit.
4K 60 frames, I want to say.
But it's definitely a good game, and plus you gotta look at it now too. While you playing it before. I mean, after a lot of the errors and stuff that was in the initial launch, they're all gone, man. Cause I just beat it last year, and I didn't have a single glitch in the game while I was playing it.
Okay.
It was a smooth ass game when I beat it on the PS4. It was a good ass game.
That's finished product. I've never seen a glitch in there.
All right, and another thing I want to talk about, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 and Ratchet & Clank both got next generation updates. Have y'all played them?
I already got Ratchet & Clank, and I ain't been on Tony Hawk since PS2, man. Yeah. I ain't really cared for Tony Hawk too much since PS2.
I'm scared.
Dorian?
Dang, I forgot that Tony Hawk was even a thing out here. Like, I haven't heard Tony Hawk in a good even. Like, shit.
Alright, so that means none of us over here played it. Alright. So Kojima's there's been a rumor that Kojima's working on a Microsoft exclusive. How accurate do you think this rumor is true?
I don't feel like it's a lie. I mean, he just made one that was, it was timed, but it was a PlayStation exclusive for a while, Death Stranding. But the thing is, I feel like online the reception is kind of mixed, because when Death Stranding came out, everybody talked pure cash shit about Death Stranding. I own Death Stranding.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? I got 30% of the trophies. I got to finish playing it. But it's not a bad game like people think it is. It's more, Death Stranding is like a smart people game. You know what I'm saying? It's management. In the same vein as a game like State of Decay. Managing your inventory, I don't really care for State of Decay. So that's me saying a big thing about State of Decay. So, but you managing your inventory, you making smart moves. How is this gonna affect the village? Or our little housing area with our 3 or 4 other people who are still alive. How is this gonna affect them? Death Stranding is like, you walking across an open ass environment. You can get some slow ass vehicles, like they not the fastest vehicles. But when you look at the enemy encounters and stuff like that, you have to strategically plan to get around a lot of this stuff. And people beat that game up and said Kojima is a fluke. He made a shit game. And then as soon as they announced, hey, he's making an Xbox game, you got people taking pictures of Kojima on a motorcycle, and you got people online saying, oh, we're going to get Death Stranding, or we're going to get a brand new exclusive game. And I'm like, I thought y'all just hated Kojima when that game came out. Now y'all love him again. But the thing is, I feel like if anything, the game I would go for Xbox, even though Kojima's no longer tied to it, because PlayStation ain't doing nothing with it, I would get Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty. I mean, Guns of the Patriots.
But I don't think he owns it, though.
He don't own it, but I'm saying because Sony's not going for it, they're not trying to remake it, remaster it or nothing like that, I would just be trying to go for that shit. You can hit up, because Sony got ownership of it, but at the same time, it's still a freaking, because they published it, it's still a Konami game. Set up a deal with Konami. You know what I'm saying? Everybody keep talking about Metal Gear Solid or Silent Hill is going to get remade for PS5. What about that Metal Gear Solid?
Right.
That's one of the best Metal Gear Solid games. Or remake the original Metal Gear Solid. That shit, I guarantee you that motherfucker will sell.
Oh, absolutely.
If that game went exclusive, I don't care if that damn game went exclusive to fucking Switch. If it had 1 year on Switch and people love Metal Gear Solid, and it was the original game that Kojima actually worked on, people would buy that. They don't want nothing that Kojima ain't had his hands in.
Absolutely.
If it don't have his original work, nobody cares for it. Straight up.
I'm gonna be real with you though. Me growing up, I was never a Metal Gear fan. They're not bad games. It's just that they weren't for me. But I'm not gonna sit here and like deny his greatness and his impact in the gaming community.
Yeah, because he has some good games, man. Some of them want the greatest ones, but I mean, he has some pretty good games, man.
What was your favorite
Konami
game?
got a whole bunch of games. They don't remake their games though.
What was your favorite Kojima game?
Mine actually is the original Metal Gear.
Okay.
Like I played the Nintendo ones. They hard as fuck. I can't play it. Play them motherfuckers worth of shit. I'm trash. But that one that came out on PlayStation, I played the demo when the demo came out, and I was one of those skeptical people. I said, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even get from down in. But I got from down in the bottom after dying a whole bunch of times. Like 2 or 3 guards walking around when you first come out the water, and they kept killing me. But once I played through it and I completed the demo, I said, "Yo, I gotta get this." I went and bought it as soon as it launched. Bought it, played through it, and I said, "Yo, I've never played a game with a story of this quality." I felt like I was playing a movie. Like when Raven and Ocelot and them had their lines, that shit was a big production movie. Like that was the best quality game I had ever seen on a video game console when that game came out. It won't shit touching that game. I was a high fan of Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. I was loving them, but Metal Gear, as far as story and gameplay, it was shitting on everything at that time, man.
At that time, absolutely. Because nobody else was doing it.
Fuck with it. And you see, Siphon Filter came out trying to steal the glory of that shit. And that shit was Siphon Filter was alright. It wasn't all that.
They had a nice little fan base.
Yeah, but Siphon Filter got shitted on once Splinter Cell dropped on Xbox.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell dropped on Xbox and people forgot Siphon Filter existed. They said, "Who's the better silent killer? Freaking Solid Snake or Sam Fisher?" And his name Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell?
I forget.
They said those two, cause I got it on my OG Xbox when it launched. That fucking game Splinter Cell was harder than a mug. They gave you like 9 bullets with your rifle and like 4 or 5 bullets with your pistol. And you had to make it through the whole level. Even if somebody dropped the gun, you couldn't pick it up. You couldn't get no bullets. You only got the bullets they gave you. And you got like your little goggles, and that was about it. Like, I think you might have got 1 or 2 flashbangs or something like that. But that game was hard. Every mission, they gave you a preset weapons loadout, and they set it up for something that a real human can carry on their body in combat.
Right.
So the game was designed around real physics when it came to somebody doing a covert operation. So that game blew. Like, it was, for a while, people was like questioning Metal Gear. Like, I don't know if Metal Gear can fuck with this Splinter Cell game, man.
Right.
But Metal Gear had a story though.
They definitely came hard.
Metal Gear killed shit because they did that one fight with Psycho Mantis, where you in the middle of Psycho Mantis fight, and he says, I know all your moves, and you're doing stuff, you're trying to do stuff with the controller, and you gotta, like, they don't tell you in the game, but you gotta take your controller and unplug player 1 and put it in player 2, so he won't know your moves. So you had to move on the controller with player 2 then. Like Psycho Mantis would fuck you up. You'd be like, "Yo, why I can't hit him?" Every time you fired at him, he dodged all your rounds. If you try to run left, he went right and threw something at you, and it knocked you out. He killed you instantly. He was like, "I know all your moves." He'll be like, "So you like to play Final Fantasy?" Like, he would tell you the games that were saved on. Yeah, he told you the games that were saved on your memory card.
That's hard.
Yo, that game shut shit down. Like when he said I was in the middle of playing, hadn't read no books on it and fighting him, and all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh, you're an avid player of Final Fantasy VII," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
that's cool, yo.
Like, you should look up the videos on YouTube. He would tell you at least 2 or 3 games off your memory card. The longer you fought him and you didn't switch your controller over, he would keep telling you stuff about your player experience on the console.
Mm.
It was no game that did that shit, yo.
Even till this day.
Huh?
Even till this day.
I don't think it been none.
Yeah, no other game has done something like that. That's wild. That's crazy.
That is some crazy shit.
And I got 2 more topics I want to tackle on. So, first things first with Sony, they're not going to attend the E3, which is
I don't care about it. I feel like that's not necessary.
Yeah, it's no surprise. They haven't shown up for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They're going to hold their own little digital event. Of course, we are going to watch it. As far as the E3 is concerned, what company are you looking forward to the most?
What? What
company are you looking forward to the most?
I know the type of games I like. I have hopes for those games that are announced for Xbox coming out and being good games. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of games coming out and I play them and I'm like, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I played Crackdown at launch. I beat it.
Oh, Crackdown was trash.
I played, but I actually went through to have a fair opinion on it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I stopped subjecting myself to games like that. After I beat that game, I was like, you know what, fuck this game. You know what I'm saying? Right. I got Crackdown 1, 2, and 3, and I got all of them in the same year because 1 was free in January, and 2 was free in February, and then they launched part 3, and I got that on Game Pass. So I was like, I'm gonna give all of them a fair shot. But after that, I was like, yo, fuck this. I tried State of Decay, and I was like, oh, shit, this ain't it. And that was when it was super glitched. Terrible.
Oh,
glitch.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I played Quantum Break, and I said, why doesn't this game have a sequel? It wasn't really my thing, but it was a good game. So it was like, yo, I played that. I played Super Lucky's Tale. I actually like Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah,
I like platform adventure games. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was a quality game. Could it have had more? And I felt like it was too hard for small children. I didn't think it was catered to small children because you died a lot in that damn game. So it was like, but I see the games they announced and I say, okay, Perfect Dark. And I think I said, you know what? I didn't really like the old Perfect Dark games, but I would like to see them do. I played the original Perfect. I have the 2 Perfect Darks that was on 360.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like neither one of them.
They was just like the 007 game, though.
I know, but I was never like the old 007 on Nintendo 64 game. I played it and I didn't really care for it. Like I got tired of it real fast, bro. I'm telling you, I got
okay.
ADHD.
That makes sense.
I got ADHD. I run out of juice for a game real quick. And then it was, the games they announced. I'm like, okay, Battletoads. I tried it. That shit was booty meat.
You ain't like that? Battletoads is fun.
I ain't care for that shit.
What you ain't like about that?
That shit was boring to me, man.
Really?
I wanted Battletoads to look like Killer Instinct.
It's not gonna look like that.
I know, but when they said we're coming out with Battletoads, they did it after they announced DLC content with Killer Instinct. So they already got people hyped off, this is what Battletoads can look like? And then they say, hey, but we gonna give y'all this cartoony looking shit.
Oh, I see what you mean, because they put the Battletoads character on Killer Instinct. I know what you're talking about.
They put all 3 of them up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
So, I'm like, okay. And just like they put the Ninja Turtles on Injustice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They gave you a new look. So, give us that fucking game.
I see what you mean, but I feel like they did that with Battletoads to cater to pay homage to the original one.
I mean, probably so. Most likely so. But when it comes to the games I'm looking for, I want to play Returnal.
Mm-hmm.
I've beaten majority of the Ratchet and Clank games, so that's a must buy for me. You know what I'm saying? Freaking God of War, I was just playing that this morning. So of course I'm gonna play part 2. If Hellblade were to come out and it looked like that CGI trailer, because I have not seen any gameplay from the game.
I think it's gonna be at E3.
Huh?
I think they're gonna put that at
E3. If it looks like that at launch, you know what I'm saying? If it looks like that at launch, and I get 3 to 4 big time, like badass looking games, I would love to buy an Xbox. But until I get something that caters to my taste, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna buy it. For PlayStation, I already know what I like. You know what I'm saying? I already know the games and stuff that's coming out for PlayStation. I said last year when I saw the preview of It Takes Two, I'm getting it when it launched. I got it when it launched. I beat it the week it came out. Twice. You know what I'm saying? I know what games I'm gonna get. Like I said, I'm gonna get Returnal. I might not get it right at launch, but I'm gonna get it around that time. You know what I'm saying? But I also want Resident Evil, which is gonna be on both consoles. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I want other multiplats as well as exclusive games, but I'm already adapted to the trophy system. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I look at the achievement system, and I look at my points, I got 10 points here. I hit start on the title screen, and I got a freaking diamond achievement. And I'm like, why is that a diamond achievement? What makes that a special achievement? I just hit start on this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at my profile, on Xbox, you'll be like, he played this game and got 2% of this game. And you go look at some of the achievements, I got a diamond. I ain't even played 10 minutes of the game. So it's like, when I look at my trophies and I say I got a platinum, I know it's either one of them real fast little skippy games that I played to get a platinum trophy that probably took me 10 minutes, or it's one of those, because they weight the trophies. So some trophies are weighted like 30%, some of them are like 50%, some of them like 300% or something, so they help you rank up faster. But if I beat God of War and get a platinum, it doesn't weigh the same as if I beat, like, say if Ori was on PlayStation, I got a platinum for Ori.
It wouldn't weigh the same.
It wouldn't weigh the same, you know what I'm saying? Because God of War is a much harder game. Right. Like Hollow Knight, if I got a platinum, that shit's gonna weigh heavy, because that game's hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at my trophies, I can say I got gold, silver, and then when they were doing PlayStation rewards, just like Xbox has rewards, I used to be able to take my trophies and cash in the silver, gold, and platinums and get PlayStation cards and buy games. But now the reward system is for every $1 you get for purchases, you get 1 point. So for every $1 you spend on PlayStation, you get 1 point. So I use that and get like $10 back. Right. And then I go buy games and shit with that. But I mean, I guess it's the same thing with Xbox guys. You know, you're adapted to your ecosystem.
I like both of them. Like, honestly, one game I double dipped in was Call of Duty. Because for one, I got it on Xbox first because it was on sale. And then when I saw it on PlayStation 5, I got it because it was on sale. And the experience is slightly different with the triggers, but the game is virtually the same. Like, and the achievements and the trophies are pretty much the same difficulty. Or it's like the same, I guess, challenge to get the trophies versus the achievement points.
It's the same listing. If you look at the name, it's the same thing. But what I'm saying is, when I look at my achievements, and it says, "Hey, you got this gamer score or whatever," right?
Right.
When I look at it and I look at this game, okay, I just beat this game twice. But I was slacking. You know, I only got 500 damn achievement points out of this shit. I done beat this shit twice. I'm not about to play this shit no more. So then when I look at it, it's just different when I look at my points. Okay, I got 10 points for this. I got 30 points for this. 20 points for this. It's just easier mentally for me when I look at it and say, okay, well, that was something that was cake, so I got a bronze trophy for it. You know what I'm saying? That was something that, you know, if it was missable, you know what I'm saying? They got missable on Xbox too, but if I miss it, I can't really tell because I haven't been hardcore on Xbox like that. So when I look at my achievements, I'm like, I really don't know what the fuck is the most special ones I got, but I can easily say I got a platinum in that motherfucker. Like, I feel like if Xbox took away the smaller diamond achievements and said you beat this game and that's a diamond achievement once you completed everything in there, I feel like it would weigh a lot more. Because a lot of my friends and stuff that were hardcore Xbox friends, they said they told me they like the the trophy reward system a little better. Not that it's a heavy thing, but it's just I just ended up liking it. I've been doing it since PS3, so it's just what I'm used to.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Microsoft hasn't done anything with their achievement system since 2000. I want to say 16, and even before that, they didn't do anything since the 360 generation.
Well, like I be wondering, I be like, when they gonna upgrade it, change it, add some new perks to it, or something. Like I feel like it's so much that can be done with it. Like I feel like now that the console is way more powerful, like I was really looking for, because I hated streaming with Mixer. Mixer was a good product, but it was annoying as fuck that I was required to stream with Mixer. And then what's the thing where you edit your videos on Xbox? I hated that shit.
Studios? Upload Studios?
Yeah, Upload Studio. Oh my god, that was the slowest editing program I've ever used in my life. It's slower than Nero on PC. Like, it's so slow.
I agree.
And Share Factory, I can go up there, add my video, add different content to it, and upload it in less than 15-20 minutes and be good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could do that in 10 minutes and get a whole 1 hour video uploaded straight to YouTube. And I was like, yo, why I can only record 10 minutes on my Xbox One? Or I got a live stream. I'm like, I don't want a live stream. I just want to, record my gameplay. Why can't I just record my gameplay? So that was like a turn off for me. It was like, yo, this is crazy. I got to go through all this. And then when I wanted to do video, they said I had to request a license.
Really?
Like I had to stop. Yeah, when I tried to do video with my camera on my Xbox One, I had to go on Mixer and apply for a temporary streamer's license in order to stream from my Xbox. And I didn't use it for 20 days, so they stripped me of my license and I had to reapply again.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, I could just get on Twitch. I used to be able to get on Daily Motion. I can get on YouTube. And at one point, I could send my video straight to Facebook on my PlayStation. So it was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know they limit Xbox to 10 minutes. And now what is it, like 30 seconds, 2 minutes or something on the X Series X?
Well, I know what they do now is, because I actually do it myself. And whenever you record gameplay, if you want to do like 30 minutes or an hour, you have to record it on an external hard drive.
See, I don't get why they do that. That's what I'm wondering. Like, why do they make you do that?
I don't get it neither, but I feel like they do that so it can be easier for you to edit on the PC.
I mean, shit, I can do the same thing though. I could take a hard drive right now. Like my hard drive I got the 4 terabyte hard drive, I think. Yeah, 4 terabyte hard drive hooked to my PlayStation right now. I could take all my stuff, my pictures, all my videos and stuff, because I used to upload them straight to my Facebook and share them on my Facebook gaming page before. Mm-hmm. I could go on YouTube, I could put them on Twitch, I can edit them, I could do all that stuff. I just feel like you got a powerful console. You got, even though both systems hard drives is limited because the operating system and stuff like that, you still got a well enough amount of storage to store personal content up there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, give these dudes, if somebody's a hardcore Xbox fan, they should be able to save up to an hour of capture footage.
I agree with you.
Because everybody's not a streamer. If you want to sit in the privacy of your home and play your game, you should be able to do that, play it, record it, do whatever, upload it to your YouTube or upload it to your Twitch, whatever, and be comfortable. Like when I was on Mixer, I'm like, yo, I'm not a streamer. It's people coming up there and they're talking to me. I got chat words on my shit. I had to go and manually turn off the chats. Like I'm turning off the chats. I can't use a camera, so I'm just playing and they're watching my gameplay. And when the chat was still on, it's like, hey, no, you're not doing this right. When I was playing Blair Witch, telling me how to play Blair Witch, and I'm like, yo, look, I already beat this game. I'm playing through it a little bit more to try to go back and find some more achievements.
Right.
Don't tell me how to play the game I already fucking beat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm like, yo, I don't want to stream this. I just want to upload a quick video so somebody can see a little somewhat scary scene of something happening to me in the woods, getting attacked by some creatures or some shit.
Right.
And I have to go completely live. Then I have to go to Mixer, see if the video has finished being approved, because it had to upload to Mixer and everything and fully format. Then I had to download it to my computer and upload it to freaking Twitter. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that's too much.
I'm like, yo, I record a video. I just uploaded a video today. I played a video I recorded 2 or 3 days ago on Borderlands, and I uploaded the video to Twitter today. I'm like, I just go and click it. I got a whole archive of games inside my PlayStation that I play from different stuff. And I'm like, I can just go up there and select 4 or 5 pictures and upload them. I select the video, upload it. I'm like, this should be like across the board. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, everybody should be on this when it comes to the social level of the games.
Right, I agree.
I should be able to share content to Twitter, to Instagram, to freaking Snapchat, anything I want to share to. Why can I share it to Twitter, but I can't share it to IG or Facebook? You know what I'm saying? Facebook got taken off PlayStation because of their security policies. They were doing a lot of shady shit, reading people content. So Sony was like, fuck that.
Nah.
We don't want to be affiliated with that type of traffic. And they cut them off. So, because I used to upload stuff directly to Facebook. Yeah, everybody was like, yo, we can't fuck with Facebook. Their security is all jacked up. Which is understandable. I'm glad both companies said fuck that. Nintendo,
They never had it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I know I can upload like pictures from my son's Switch. I don't think on his Switch Lite he can do videos. I don't know if they can do videos like that. Maybe it was like a couple seconds of video on the regular Switch or something. I don't know for sure though.
Yeah, I'm glad that they got rid of Facebook. I just hope Microsoft revamp their internal recording studio software. And the last thing I want to talk about is, because of the pandemic, everyone's been working from home and stuff like that. So the CPUs and the GPUs that are in the Xbox Series consoles and the PlayStation 5, you might not see a regular stock of the systems until 2021 because the chip shortage is that massive. So,
true.
How do you think it's going to affect gamers as far as making the leap to the next generation? And do you think that this is going to prevent these companies from making games exclusive for next gen because they want to get that fan base from the previous gen? Do you think they're going to continue to make games cross generation until you can get a full stock in these stores?
I think it's gonna be the same thing like when it started the PS4 and the Xbox One. They had some games that launched. Xbox had Rise, and PS4 had the Order 1886 and Infamous, and you had games at launch for each system, but you still had cross generation games. I mean, like we just talked about earlier, Grand Theft Auto is still the most sold game. You know what I'm saying? And it was a cross generation. The Last of Us was a PS3 game that was remastered in 2015, but for a period, the only way you could play The Last of Us was on a PS3. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those games came out around 2013, 2012 time frame. I think Halo 4 came out 2011, between 2011 and 2013, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So what they added backwards compatibility to Xbox, wasn't it around late 2014, 2015 or something like that?
I think 2015.
And then they added Game Pass in 2016, 17? Okay.
18.
So when you look at those games, cross generation has always really been a thing. It was just with PS2 and PS3 and Xbox and Xbox One. I mean Xbox 360. The consoles was way stronger, so they wanted to showcase the strength. So they came out with, that's when Xbox was fighting hard for the exclusivity deals. You know what I'm saying? They was getting, like, Call of Duty was riding the nuts of Xbox.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every DLC package, every spare piece of content went straight to Xbox. So at that point, it got to the point where we got to keep pushing exclusives. We got to push exclusives because everyone's already coming over for exclusive deals with certain games. So they had to bring out new games. You know what I'm saying? People weren't checking for PS2 and Xbox OG games no more. They were like, hey, it's cool if it works, it works. But other than that, I want some new shit.
Right.
When PS4 and Xbox One came out, it was like, yo, I just built a whole catalog of shit. It would be nice if some of my stuff worked, but it didn't. So then PlayStation didn't have no choice. Like, yo, we got to make 2 copies of these games. Like, we can't get the PS3 version to work on the PS4, so we got to make 2 copies of these games.
Right.
Xbox said, hey, we got a strong launch. Well, we could have had a strong launch if that fucking E3 briefing didn't go shit. But they could have had a real strong launch. As far as games, they had a strong launch.
They just had bad media messaging.
Bad media fucked them up. The messaging was terrible.
Right.
But when you look at it though, the games was what kept them strong and afloat. They had new games coming out left and right. So when it came to the cross-gen game, it was like, okay, we make a cross-gen, we still can get those multiplats to support this console and build up a catalog for this in the early days. Because after year 1, cross-gen starts to fade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think the last PS3 game that came out, I think it was 2017, 2016. Like, they're still bringing games out. When they just announced that the Vita store and all that stuff was closing, it's companies that just went ape shit on Twitter like, hey, we were developing a game for the Vita. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still games being made for these old consoles.
Right.
So when you look at cross-gen, just because we don't know about those games, because we're so focused on what's the future, and we don't keep up with those games, we it's a bigger deal to us. You know what I'm saying? But once 2023 come around, ain't nobody gonna be talking about no cross-gen, even if the games is cross-gen, because there's gonna be so many next-gen games out, nobody's gonna care.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Once Xbox start dropping their titles, once PlayStation start dropping their titles, and it's a catalog of 20 or more games on each console,
they don't forget about last gen.
No one cares. You know, that's just gonna be easily forgotten immediately. And plus, the services are gonna keep on improving. They're gonna start adding more shit to cell phones. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna start adding. Who knows? One of them might the VR. If Xbox bring out that HoloLens, then it's competition.
They just sold that to the military.
Yeah, they sold it completely.
No, not completely.
I thought they did them some trials or something with it.
No, you're right. It's a trial. Like, they didn't sell it to them completely, but they sold them the rights to use it.
Yeah, because I know they trying to do strategic planning and stuff. Like when we did down in Afghanistan and stuff, when they, instead of sitting it on a whiteboard or something like that, or a projector, it's a lot easier to have everybody gather around the table and let me show you how we're gonna move across the terrain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I totally I feel like that's a good thing. I really thought it was gonna come out with the Xbox One X. I was really hoping to see what kind of cool shit they were gonna do, but that shit let me down. That shit just ghosted. It just vanished. Like I never heard about it again.
Cause I don't think it was
until that article you just mentioned.
I don't think it was going to be sufficient for their gaming. I don't think the Series X was going to be powerful enough. I mean, I'm not the Series X, the One X.
I mean, shit. If they putting games on the Series S right now, at least the X series. The One X was able to do full 4K games.
Right.
The Series S is doing, but I think the high was it
1440p.
1440. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, it's a more powerful console, but it don't even do the 4K games. I would never buy that one. Like,
I would, because it focuses on
buy
the
X
frame
Series
rate.
X if I bought an Xbox.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna maximize my power. If I'm gonna buy something and call it next gen, I'm not gonna buy something that they literally came out and stated that the version of the game they're making, usually for the Series S, is the Xbox One S version, not the Xbox One X version, the One S version. Cause we was clowning hard on that shit when they came and announced that online. I was like, so they just
that was only
for
that was only for older games though. Like when they make newer games, they're going to look better than what the older games were.
No, I'm saying they're upscaling a lot of the Xbox. When the game is announced for the One S, it's the same version for the Series S.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same. You know what I'm saying? But the X Series X is the true next gen version of the game.
Right.
So it's like if I'm gonna buy a new console, I'm gonna buy the one that's maxed out.
Right.
I'm not gonna buy the one that's gonna be undercut, or the game that I want to get might not work on the shit. You know, it might not perform good. I'm gonna get the strongest one. Like, I don't know, I'm all about, like, when I got my PlayStation 5, I got the disc one. I ain't bought a disc game yet. I'm gonna get disc games, but I bought it because it's the same thing what people say, options. If I get tired of digital, I got a fucking disc drive. I'll just put games in the disc drive. I'm not gonna keep dealing with bullshit with digital.
Right.
If it keeps acting up, so.
Right.
But yeah.
But that's all I got for this week. So make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. This is the No Sleep Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, CharmCityGames. And we lost Mikey Darko. We lost Colossal. I don't know what happened with him. So go ahead and do our outro. Go ahead, Black Frost.
Man, I'm JS Black Frost. You can find Black Frost on Twitter. Shit, I got a YouTube, but I don't really be up there. I just deleted like 400 some videos off that shit.
Golly.
But I got Twitch and all. Everything is Black Frost. You find me. I got a red icon. It's kind of like a red ghost with a black background, pretty much. It's easy to find. But that's about it, man.
Okay, how about you, Destroy? You've been quiet all podcast, man. What's up?
Oh no, y'all was just having y'all little, all your stuff together. So I was just chilling the whole time. But yeah, y'all can find me on pretty much anything, man. YouTube, Twitter, everything is just still Destroy.xl. I'm uploading throughout the week, and trying to get into a little bit more like horror games and stuff like that too. Just because y'all brought up the little nightmares and stuff like that, so I might get into that if I can ever get my hands on it. But you know, I'm here.
Man, check out that Miles Morales, man. Stop bluffing.
It's just like, once I get the money in my pocket, I'll gladly go up there and get it.
Bro, if you buy it, it come with both versions, man.
I don't beat both versions though. That's what I'm saying. Like I already beat the first one. Like that was just
no. I'm saying if you bought this, if you want the regular game, I think it's like $49 or something. But it comes with the PS4 version and the PS5 version of Miles Morales. If you spend $70, you get the original Spider-Man remastered, and then you know, with the new character, new Peter Parker model, and all that other stuff. And then you get Miles Morales on PS4 and PS5. You get 3 games in one if you pay $70 for it. So I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, I only did it for trophies. I did it to get 2 platinum.
Yeah, you definitely a trophy hunter.
So, it's easy shit.
But, all right, fellas, man. Thank y'all for coming through, man. I really appreciate y'all.
No problem, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to make it next week as well. Cause I want to get into a habit of having a consistent, weekly thing, and I'm also gonna be uploading throughout the week too. So I'm gonna keep y'all posted.
Yeah, just let me know.
All right, man. We out of here.
All right.